Hokage I can only draw S-rank rewards, Chapter 1-20. Chapter 1 _ I can only draw S-rank rewards. Konoha 42 years, Ninja School. Next, Lei Luo. In the huge practice room, a young man with black hair who looked about 7 or 8 years old walked up slowly. The content of today's graduation assessment is clone technique. Let's get started. Genin assessment examiner, Alubuka sorted out the information in his hand and said solemnly. Lei Luo took a deep breath. It has been almost 10 years since he came to the Hokage world, and he has also been in the ninja school for 3 or 4 years. It is time to graduate. After all, now that the third ninja war is about to break out at any time, Konoha can't let the cannon fodder ninja hide in the ninja school. Clone technique. With a silent shout, a cloud of smoke immediately rose around Lei Luo, and 2 identical figures jumped around him. Hey, it's still 2 clones, as expected. I'm just a 4-year-old boy who has no talent, no family, no Kekkei Genkei, no tailed beast blessing. Looking at the 2 clones next to him, Lei Luo's mouth twitched. 2 clones. Alubuka looked at the other invigilator next to each other, shook his head, and whispered. The clone technique can only pass if 3 clones are separated, Forget it, let's lower the standard according to the instructions of the 3rd generation of adults. Oh, that's all it can do. Alubuka coughed lightly and said. Lei Luo, pass. Please come up and get your genin forehead guard. It's over. Lei Luo was stunned, and then thought, it seems that the 3rd battle is imminent. Can I pass the end of a crane like me? After taking the genin forehead guard, Lei Luo bowed his head, said thank you, and walked out. Wow, Lei Luo, you graduated. Lei Luo went out. Yuhi with long black hair and Yuhi jewel eyes rushed up, grabbed his arm and said excitedly. Hokage, these little devils are very premature, and know the difference between likes and dislikes very early. With an adult mindset and a handsome face, Lei Luo established a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship with Kurenai Yuhi as early as last year, which was very jealous and dissatisfied by some people. The reason is very simple. Lei Luo is just a civilian orphan whose parents died. And Kurenai Yuhi, but the big Konoha demonic illusion family, the jewel of the Yuhi family. Unfortunately, under Lei Luo's strategy, Kurenai Yuhi, a 10-year-old little loli, just followed him with all his heart. Of course, Yuhi, you have to cheer up later. Well, I see. Little loli looked at Lei Luo admiringly with starlight in his eyes. Next, Kurenai Yuhi. Oh, I'm coming. Little loli agreed, made a fist, and said to Lei Luo. Lei Luo, let's cheer together. With that said, he pushed open the door of the examination room and trotted in. It's troublesome, it seems that my talent is really not good. The genin exam is on the edge of the passing line, and the 3rd battle is about to start. I have to find a way to strengthen my strength. Looking at Kurenai Yuhi's disappearing back, Lei Luo murmured. The first choice is the 8 inner gates. Although it is very tiring, it can survive in the 3rd war. If it really doesn't work, I have to find a way to find some forbidden technique. Ding dong, congratulations to the host who passed the genin assessment and successfully activated the God-level lottery system. The novice gift package is being sent. Sent successfully. Fuck, my golden finger has arrived. Lei Luo was stunned, but with his previous life experience, he quickly knew what was going on, and his eyes suddenly lit up. System, what's the use of telling you quickly? This system is called the God-level lottery system, which allows the host to randomly select all the props, skills, blood, pets, equipment, etc. of the heavens and the world. A lottery draw. Lei Luo excitedly said that in his previous life, he had read thousands of online novels and knew that there were many systems such as God-level selection systems, gene extraction systems, and development systems. And his own God-level lottery system seems to be very strong. Then the system, how should I draw the lottery? As long as the host gets the lottery points, the lottery can be drawn, and the God-level lottery points can be obtained by completing a series of tasks. Ding dong, it is detected that the host has a novice gift package, whether to open it. Open. Of course open. Lei Luo quickly agreed. The novice gift package is being opened. The opening is successful. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a God-level lottery point *1. Just a God-level lottery point. Lei Luo pouted and said, "Come on, system, I want to draw a lottery." Ding dong, it is detected that the host has one God-level lottery point, and the random reward is being screened. Successful screening. With Lei Luo's consciousness, a circular turntable quickly appeared in his mind. The carousel is divided into 6 areas on average, and each area has a ghost image of an item. S-class items. Devil fruit * sparkling fruit. S-class item. Fire dragon slayer magic crystal. S-class prop. Mangekyo Sharingan. S-class weapon. Zanpakudo Ryujin Jaka. S-class weapon. Demon sword Muramasa. S-rank skill. Ninja Tengai Shinsei, heavenly obstacle quaking star. Damn, these rewards are actually S-level rewards, A-level and B-level. Lei Luo asked with a confused expression. A-level, B-level, what is that? I am a God-level lottery system, and the minimum prizes are S-level. System, you don't pretend to force us to be good friends. Chapter 2 _ When the sun goes down, that's my dead ninja life. Quick draw, I want to draw. Lei Luo said excitedly, putting aside the system's pretense. Among these 6 rewards, no matter which one is very awesome. Devil fruit, Zanpakudo, Dragon Slayer magic crystal, and Mangekyo Sharingan, no matter which 4 he gets, he can gain great power in a short time. As for the demon sword Muramasa, I don't know which world's famous sword it is. As for the last skill, I don't know if it is possible to release Tengai Shinsei, heavenly obstacle quaking star, without Rinnegan. Extracting. With the mechanical sound of the system, the turntable in Lei Luo's mind was spinning rapidly. Hey, Lei Luo, I didn't expect the tail of your crane to pass the Genin test. It's a miracle. While Lei Luo was excitedly waiting for the result of the lottery, a childish voice suddenly sounded in his ears. At the same time, several little kids also gathered around. Lei Luo looked up and saw an acquaintance. Hey, it's you, Sachima. Oh no, Asuma. The little guy in the green vest of forgiveness in front of him is Sarutobi Asuma, the son of the 3rd generation of Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. And Kamizuki Izumo, Gangzi Iron, Moonlight Hayate and a few followers. What Sachima? Asuma looked puzzled, but didn't care, and said proudly. Lei Luo, give you another chance. Leave Yuhi, you are just a civilian ninja, you can't give her a happy life at all. Lei Luo's mouth began to twitch. What qualifications do you have to say about me, you short-lived ghost? As the son of 3 generations of Hokage, Asuma has always thought he was very good. Almost everyone in the class flattered himself, and there were a few horses who followed him all day long. But there was a genius ninja Kakashi, who didn't care about himself at all. Fortunately, he graduated a few years earlier. And I heard that everyone is now a Jonin. Kakashi is the son of Konoha White Fang, and he is no match for him. But there is this stinky boy named Lei Luo in front of him who doesn't talk about himself, and robs the girl he likes. It's really disrespectful to the son of Hokage. This time, while graduating, we must teach him a good lesson. Cut, idiot. Lei Luo shook his head. Except for Asuma's strength in the future, these guys are all dead. What's the use? Besides, it's Genin exam time. There are many teachers coming and going, forgive them and they don't dare to fight here. You. Asuma said angrily and wanted to do it, but when he saw the eyes of several invigilators looking at this, he said bitterly. Lei Luo, you wait for me, sooner or later I will grab Yuhi. After speaking, surrounded by a few ponies, he walked outside. Ding dong, the lucky draw is successful. Congratulations to the host for obtaining an S-class item, Devil Fruit * Sparkling Fruit. Sparkling Fruit. A type of devil fruit that can turn any part of the body into light, making it immune to any physical attack. At the same time, it has the speed of light, and can attack and move at the speed of light. The speed of light can be used to make a heavy blow, and the body can emit a strong flash, which can temporarily blind the enemy. It can also compress light particles, emit lasers, and produce large-scale explosions. I'm going. It's actually a glittering fruit. Lei Luo said excitedly, with the glittering fruit, what is he afraid of? System, where is my glittering fruit? Meditate on the system space, and you can see the reward. Oh, that's what it is. According to the system prompt, Lei Luo quickly found a void space. A golden yellow fruit, like a pineapple, emitting a faint golden light, stayed there quietly. As soon as his mind moved, this devil fruit appeared in his hand. Without any hesitation, Lei Luo directly took a bite. Click, he took a big bite of the fruit, and the juice immediately flowed, and the taste was actually very sweet. Huh, system, your devil fruit is fake, right? Why is it so delicious? Shouldn't it taste like shit? All the devil fruits produced by the system have eliminated their shortcomings of being afraid of sea rock and sea water, and of course the taste has also changed. It turns out that. Lei Luo nodded, it seems that this is also a big benefit of the system. At this time, the door of the examination room, which had been closed for a long time, was suddenly opened with a squeak. Little lowly Kurenai Yuhi grabbed the genin forehead in his hand and ran out with a jump. Lei Luo, I've become a genin too. Congratulations. Lei Luo also said with a smile, Kurenai Yuhi was a powerful jonin in the original plot, and of course it was not difficult for him in the genin assessment. Come, eat some fruit. Saying that, he handed over the devil fruit he just ate. Only the first sip of devil fruit is effective, so Lei Luo is not worried at all. Well, thank you, Lei Luo, you are so kind to me. Yuhi took the devil fruit that Lei Luo handed over with both hands, not caring that he just ate the leftovers, and took a bite excitedly. Under Lei Luo's attack, all the fronts on little lowly Yuhi have been lost. In front of him, there are no secrets at all. Well, is this a pineapple? It's delicious. Ah, pineapple, maybe. Ding dong, it is detected that the host has taken S-class props, devil fruit * sparkling fruit. Congratulations to the host for automatically comprehending the universal ability of the natural devil fruit, elementalization. Congratulations to the host for automatically comprehending the skill, laser light. Congratulations to the host for automatically comprehending the skill, light speed kick. Congratulations to the host for automatically comprehending the skill, Tiankong Cloud Sword. Congratulations to the host for automatically comprehending the skill, Yada Mirror. Congratulations to the host for automatically comprehending the skill, Tomo Yagasaki. Go away, you damn skills, I want to practice by myself. Chapter 3 _ Primary School Overlord. Ha ha ha, Lei Luo, I finally blocked you. The starlight was dimly lit, and she managed to send Yuhi, who was almost hanging on her body, back to her house. Just as she turned a corner, she was blocked by Asuma and his ponies. Lei Luo's mouth twitched. These silly kids. He and Yuhi had been in the playground for at least 5 or 6 hours from the end of the exam to the present. That is to say, poor Asuma and his little followers also squatted here for 5 or 6 hours. Seeing Kamizuki Azumo's knees trembling slightly behind him, and trying to pretend to be vicious, it's really pitiful. Asuma, for your dad's sake, I don't want to touch you. Ding dong, it is detected that the host is in danger, and the mission is activated, Campus Overlord. Campus Overlord. As a student of ninja school, you must become the existence that all students fear and look up to. Mission 1. Defeat all male ninjas in the same period, and reward God level lottery points 1. Task 2. Make at least 3 girlfriends in school, and reward God-level lottery points 1. Isn't your father the 3rd generation of Hokage? He has the ability to hit me. Hearing the system prompt coming from his ear, Lei Luo immediately changed his tone and said provocatively. Ah, Lei Luo, the hatred of stealing your wife, killing your father, hating your father, I want to teach you a lesson. Catch him. Asuma shouted, and even the little followers behind him also shouted and rushed up. Eat my punch. With a loud cry, Asuma slammed Lei Luo's head with a hard punch. Oh, I really didn't want to hit you. Lei Luo sighed softly, facing Asuma's fist, but he didn't dodge. Sure enough, it's the tail of the crane. I can't even hide my fist, so let me. PFF'd. Seeing that his fist was about to hit Lei Luo's face, which he hated, who knew that his punch would actually fall in the air. A staggering, almost fell to the ground. What love? Bang. Whoops. Bang. Not only him, but also Kamizuki Izumo, Gangzi Tai and a few others, their attacks seemed to hit the air. They collided one after another and fell to the ground. Ding dong, Task 1 completion, 5/21. Lei Luo's eyes lit up. It turned out that completing Task 1 was so easy. What kind of ninjutsu are you? Asuma pushed a few people away from him and shouted, eyes as big as eggs. What's the situation? Why did our attacks miss all the hits, just like hitting the air? You know too much. Lei Luo shook his head, thought for a moment, put his strength to the lowest level, pointed his index finger to a tree not far away, and said. Hey, don't trouble me in the future, otherwise. As he said that, an extremely dazzling light suddenly shot out from the fingers of his right hand. Laser light. Duh. With a soft sound, a finger-sized hole was pierced directly by Lei Luo's laser beam in the middle of the tree that was hugged by one person. On the edge of the cave, there was still green smoke. After doing this, Lei Luo also walked towards the house shyly, ignoring the stunned guys who were still paralyzed on the ground. It's very late, okay, there will be a genin group assignment tomorrow, where will he have time to play with these little devils? It doesn't matter what they think. The ability of glitter fruit will be discovered sooner or later, it is better to show it bit by bit. At that time, at most, others thought it was a special kind of Kekkei Genkei. After all, there are monsters in the ninja world that can pull out their own bones. Compared to his own light, it is already normal. Big brother, what should I do? Kamizuki Izumo got up, looked at the hole of the big tree not far away, swallowed a mouthful of saliva subconsciously, and asked. Humph. Lei Luo, just wait for me, I'll go to my dad and let him teach me some great ninjutsu. I won't give in. Yuhi must be mine. Asuma raised his throat and shouted loudly. Interesting, did you find me? After a few people left, a somewhat gloomy voice suddenly came from above the big tree. I saw Orochimaru with long black hair and extremely feminine eyes, slowly falling from the ground. Looking at the direction Lei Luo left, his eyes were very interested. I didn't expect to find such a special kid when I returned to the village this time. Physical attack is invalid. It's similar to the hydration technique of the Kurigakure village ghost lamp clan, but obviously one level higher. Light, if you can develop it well. Orochimaru muttered, his eyes becoming more and more interested. He had other things to do when he returned to the village this time, but he didn't expect to meet such an interesting child. I don't know if the attack just now was accidental, or if it really found me. And the kid just now, Asuma, Mr. Sarutobi's child, compared with his big brother, the gap is not a star and a half. Looks like we'll have to stay in Konoha again this time. Sarutobi-sensei. Saying that, Orochimaru smiled grimly, and his entire figure immediately moved towards the direction of Hokage's office, walking slowly. Chapter 4 Everyone here is rubbish. Early the next morning, the students of the ninja school who had just graduated sat obediently in the classroom. After all, today is a big day to assign and guide Jonin, and they can't be late. Before Mr. Chunin came, there was chaos in the classroom, and a bunch of little devils were running wild. Hey, Lei Luo, what do you want to do in the future? Behind the seat, Yuhi asked Lei Luo in a low voice. What to do next? Lei Luo smiled. He knew the plot very well. He knew what would happen in the future. Black Zetsu is just a story of saving his mother, and he will definitely meet the Otsutsuki clan in the future. These are definitely not said to Yuhi, who is still a little lowly now. I don't know what to do in the future, but now, I have an idea. Huh, thoughts, what thoughts? Before Yuhi finished speaking, he saw that a golden light suddenly flashed from Lei Luo's body. In an instant, Lei Luo, who was sitting beside him, suddenly appeared on the podium. Lei Luo. Lei Luo, what are you going to do? Hey, Lei Luo, one of the two cranes in the class, what happened to him? Lei Luo's actions quickly attracted the attention of the classmates, and they started talking. I just heard that the dream of many of you is to be Hokage. Lei Luo stepped on the stool from nowhere and asked condescendingly. Humph, so what? A kid wearing goggles stood up abruptly and said with a cold snort. Uchiha Obito, another tough kid. Lei Luo, don't be too deceiving, Hokage. Asuma also stood up abruptly. He didn't explain what happened last night like the third generation of Hokage. He would also be staring at Lei Luo angrily. It's nothing, I just want to tell you that the position of Hokage is mine, and none of you deserve it. Everyone here is rubbish. You don't deserve to be Hokage. Lei Luo finished speaking. It immediately caused a commotion. What? Lei Luo, you are courting death. You tail of a crane, who gave you the courage to be so arrogant? Go on, brothers, teach him a lesson. Asuma yelled, we were not your opponents last night. But now, there are dozens of genins. Following Asuma's instigation, more than a dozen boys rushed towards Lei Luo. Let him taste what it's like to have a fist the size of a sandbag. As for the girl, she also glared at Lei Luo angrily. That's right. Lei Luo smiled lightly. He wanted to complete the task of dominating the campus one, defeat all male ninjas in the same period, and sooner or later he would have to do it to his classmates. The early bird catches the worm, so choose today. Yatarakami. A dazzling light suddenly flashed, and the figure who had just jumped in front of him was kicked several meters away before he could react. Together with the few people behind, they were also knocked into the seats. Light speed kick. In another instant, Lei Luo's figure seemed to be transformed into a ray of light, constantly flashing throughout the classroom. All the boys were kicked away by the extremely fast Lei Luo, and no one could survive a round under his attack. In just a few seconds, Lei Luo's figure reappeared beside Kurenai Yuhi. And the other boys became rolling gourds, wailing on the ground. Wood. In the eyes of more than a dozen girls with dull faces, Lei Luo picked up Kurenai Yuhi and smeared her cheeks fiercely. It caused Kurenai Yuhi's face to swoosh, and turned into Yuhi. He lowered his head and didn't dare to look at people. You, what are you doing? There are so many people. Lei Luo smiled, hee, and didn't say anything. Wow, so romantic. A rotten girl looked at this scene and murmured. As for the boys on the ground, they were all ignored by her. Lei and Lei Luo are so strong, they knocked down more than a dozen classmates so quickly. Asuma, Hyuga, Tokuma, and Uchiha Castle, the strongest in the class, are not his opponents. Wow, when did Lei Luo become so strong? So strong. Squeak, sound, at this moment, the closed door of the classroom was suddenly opened. Chunin teacher Alubuka walked in with a pile of documents and saw a bunch of boys lying on the ground at a glance. What's the matter? Why are you lying on the ground? Uruka asked in astonishment. No, nothing. Asuma rubbed his chest and climbed up. Although his eyes were full of anger, he endured the pain and said nothing. Mr. Alubuka, we're fine. Yes, we just fell down. Cough, pull me up. For these little devils, fighting with classmates is one thing, and they will never tell the teacher. It's too bad for a man to sue the teacher after a fight. Sit down. It's already a genin. What does it look like? How can you rest assured to let you go out and do tasks like this? Can the employer rest assured? Alubuka said in a deep voice, his tone full of hatred for iron. Oh, we got it. Pull me now. And me. Damn it. You are so heavy, it's time to lose weight. What to lose weight? My body is just right, this is called plump. Looking at these naughty students, Alubuka's eyes were a little strange, as if something shocking had just happened. Standing on the podium, he glanced at Lei Luo who was sitting in the back row subconsciously, and looked at it for a few seconds. Huh, why is this rambunctious staring at me? Are there any malicious thoughts? What's wrong with the name? I have to call him Aruka, could it be that his son is Aruka? The names of these two fathers and sons. Lei Luo, who was playing with Yuhi, quickly felt it and turned his head to look. However, the other party quickly averted his eyes. Cough, okay, don't make trouble, sit down for me. Alubuka said in a deep voice, and the surrounding classmates soon became quiet. From today, you are all a ninja on your own. Listen, as a ninja, the first thing you have to do is to obey orders, and your mission first. Hokage-sama once said that as long as there is a place where Konoha flies, the fire will burn. The shadow of the fire shines on the village, and new leaves sprout. And you are the flames of my Konoha. Alubuka gave a passionate speech on the stage, and he kept talking like brainwashing. But seeing that many people in the class showed their longing looks, I knew that Alu's words still had an effect. Lei Luo didn't listen to him at all, but thought about the system prompt just now, with a strange tone. Task completion 2020 firsts. Is there still one person missing? Hataki Kakashi. Chapter 5 Genin Division, Unexpected Guidance Jonin. Lei Luo knew that the missing person must be Hataki Kakashi, who had already graduated. Even, in Hokage's record, Hataki Kakashi at this time has become Jonin. Although Jonin was only promoted during the war, his strength is not bad, but his experience and means are still a little worse than those of the old Jonin. But compared to the ninja school students who have just graduated, he is already too talented. Hataki Kakashi, don't worry, sooner or later I'll run into you on the battlefield. Just when Lei Luo was thinking about the next thing, Alubuka on the stage finally finished talking, making the little devils in the whole classroom scream like roosters who have eaten aphrodisiac. I want to be Hokage. The one who protects the village. Humph, I'm going to be a Hokage, only a genius like me can be a Hokage. The seat of Hokage belongs to our Uchiha clan. Alright, stop arguing. Alubuka pressed down with both hands, and finally pressed down these hormonal little devils, and said. Since you're both genins who just graduated, it's going to be a team of 3 from now on. In addition, there will be a Jonin teacher who will guide the team and perform tasks together until you can perform tasks alone, or complete the Chunin exam. Also, the group members are distributed equally according to the comprehensive scores of each student. That said, but after Alubuka picked up the document in his hand, his brows were still slightly wrinkled. The so-called equal distribution is nothing but a lie. The list above has already been allocated by the major families and high-level officials. Who will go with whom has already been decided by default. The first shift, Uchiha Castle, Uchiha Kaide, Uchiha Ling. The 2 male and 1 female Uchiha members raised their heads with pride on their faces. But the 2 boys seemed to be slapped in the face, looking very funny. Second shift, Sarutobi Asuma, and the same, Morino Ibiki. Asuma rubbed his still aching chest, glared fiercely at Lei Luo behind him, and said to the 2 ponies next to him, I must teach that guy Lei Luo a good lesson in the future. Morino Ibiki, the vicious-looking future, the special Jonin tortured by the Grandmaster, is now just a radish head. The third shift, Might Guy, Ebisu, Yamashiro Aoba. Ow! Might Guy screamed strangely, there was a shoe print on his face, and shouted excitedly, Lei Luo. I didn't expect you to be so powerful, I seem to have found the direction of youth again. Then looked back at Lei Luo, raised his thumb, a flash of white Kiba teeth reflected. Ding! Ah, so dazzling. The fourth shift, Lei Luo, Kurenai Yuhi, Azuki Yugao. This class is a bit beyond Lei Luo's expectations. Kurenai Yuhi said in a low voice, well, Lei Luo, I asked my father to secretly make a change. It turns out that, according to the previous results, I am a crane tail, and it would be good to be able to divide two runners. However, Azuki Yugao. Lei Luo glanced at little Loli with long purple hair not far away, and his heart moved slightly. The second mission of the system's campus overlord, but to make 3 girlfriends, it seems that a new goal has appeared. The fifth shift, Nara. Sixth shift, Aburame. Seventh class, Uchiha Obito, Nohara Rin, Hitaki Kakashi. As soon as Ilubuka's voice fell, the assignment of the 7th class immediately caused a lot of discussion. Uchiha Obito, the tale of the Uchiha family's crane is a shame for the family. Kakashi, isn't he a chunin, why is he still on mission with us? 2 crane tails. No, how could that guy Lei Luo become so powerful? Ilubuka was not disturbed by the discussions of the students below. The 8th shift, Shimura. The 9th class. The 10th class. The 11th class. The 12th class. Soon, he assigned all 36 students in the class. A total of 12 Jonins or special Jonins will lead the group of students on missions. Okay, everyone go back to rest early, and tomorrow you will be on time to guide Jonin. Don't be late. Back in time a few hours ago, in Hokage's office. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was listening to Orochimaru's report, was suddenly taken aback and said in surprise. You mean, you want to bring this class of students? Yes, this time I came back and met a very special kid, I'm very interested. Orochimaru leaned in front of the huge floor-to-ceiling window and said with interest. The special kid, who is it? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked cautiously that Anbu had some reports about his proud disciple recently, which worried him a lot. A kid named Lei Luo whose parents died in the Second World War. Lei Luo. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked back and seemed not to be very familiar with the name. It seems that she is getting closer to that little girl from Shinku Yuhi's house. 2 days ago, Anbu reported that Shinku Yuhi asked Ninja School to change Yuhi's group assignment. It turned out to be. However, to make Orochimaru so important, it seems that he has to check it privately. Understood, then you will be the Jonin instructor for their group this time. Thank you teacher. Chapter 6_Real Warriors Are Fearless. The next day, early morning. Ninja School. The 4th shift, Lei Luo, Kurenai Yuhi, Azuki Yugao. 2. Your guide, Jonin, is already waiting for you at the 4th training ground. His request is to assemble for 15 minutes. Come on. Yes. I wonder who our guide Jonin will be. Lei Luo thought to himself. Lei Luo asked Teacher Ilubuka about the location of the 4th training ground. He immediately rushed over with Kurenai Yuhi and Azuki Yugao. 4th training ground. 14 minutes and 36 seconds. Very good, it seems that there will be some good subordinates. The instructor of the 4th class, Jonin, had already been waiting at the 4th training ground. After seeing Lei Luo and the others coming in breathlessly, he said in a terrifying manner. Hello, I'm the Jonin tutor of the 4th class, Orochimaru. Hearing this name, Lei Luo's pupils shrank. It turned out to be Orochimaru. I didn't hear that Orochimaru brought other disciples besides Senju Nawaki and Mitarashi Anko in the original book. Is it the butterfly effect? Teacher Orochimaru. You are Lord Orochimaru of the legendary Konoha Sannin. Yuhi and Yugao were very excited to hear that. Hihi, it's time for you to introduce yourself, let me learn more about you. I'll come first. Yugao appears to be a worshipper of Orochimaru, eager to express himself. My name is Azuki Yugao, I like to practice swordsmanship, I hope to become a powerful ninja and protect the village. Lei Luo thought that when Yugao appeared in the anime, he was already an Anbu ninja. He had a strong Konoha style of swordsmanship, and it was a dream come true. Unfortunately, he had a TB boyfriend named Moonlight Hayate. As for the protagonist, he died shortly after his appearance. Now that I'm here, there's nothing to do with that tuberculosis ghost, Lei Luo thought to himself. Yuhi himself has a more cheerful personality, and then introduced himself. My name is Kurenai Yuhi, I hope to become a demonic illusion ninja stronger than my father, and then marry Lei Luo-kun. In the end, Yuhi couldn't help but feel a little shy. Now it's Lei Luo's turn to introduce himself. Originally, Lei Luo wanted to introduce himself in a low-key manner, trying to fish in troubled waters, but he didn't expect that the system would suddenly do something wrong. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for triggering the mission, the real warrior is fearless. Real warriors have nothing to fear, a true warrior is never afraid of anything, and rises to the challenge to challenge Orochimaru. Task Reward. God Level Lottery Point 1. Holy crap, what can I do? I can only say that it is really fragrant. Teacher Orochimaru, my name is Lei Luo, I am a civilian. My hope is to become a powerful ninja and protect the people I love. I want to challenge you and see the power of the legendary Sannin. After listening to Lei Luo's words, Orochimaru squinted his eyes. What an interesting subordinate, I accept your challenge, come on, let me see how good you are. Have the attitude of killing me, I won't give you too many chances. As expected of Orochimaru, he is very decisive. Actually, he also wanted to try Lei Luo's weird Kekkei Genkei. The voice just fell. Huh. Lei Luo chose to retreat and hide himself for the first time. Not everyone is as stunned as Uzumaki Naruto in the original book. They are ninjas, not tanks. Yuhi and Yugao have also stepped aside to watch the battle. Although I knew that these simple cover-ups wouldn't have any effect on Orochimaru, it was also the right decision to distance myself from being killed in seconds. Laser light. Lei Luo raised his hand behind the tree and a laser shot towards Orochimaru. Orochimaru dodged in an instant. It's interesting, is this the trick I saw that day? Light speed kick. Lei Luo saw that the laser light did not have any effect on Orochimaru, so he rushed forward to restrain Orochimaru with physical art, and suddenly Lei Luo's heart flashed. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I saw a ball of light suddenly appeared in Lei Luo's hand, very dazzling. Normal people could not face strong light, and snakes were even more afraid of light. Orochimaru was accidentally caught by Lei Luo shaking his eyes. At this moment, Lei Luo suddenly approached. Tiankong Cloud Sword. Lei Luo's right hand flashed light. A lightsaber appeared in his hand, directly inserted into Orochimaru's chest, and the sword tip protruded from his back. With a bang, the inserted Orochimaru turned into a wooden stake. It turned out that Orochimaru used the double technique. Doden, Earth style. Decapitation in the heart. Orochimaru appeared at the foot of Lei Luo, reaching out to pull Lei Luo down. Light flash. Lei Luo turned into a light, flashed into the air, and directly avoided Orochimaru's attack. The backhand is a move, Yagatachong Tomo, firing countless dazzling light bullets to hit Orochimaru. Doden, Earth style. Rampart of flowing soil. A city wall appeared from the ground, blocking Lei Luo's attack. But the city wall was hit with potholes. Clap clap. Orochimaru clapped his hands and walked out from behind rampart of flowing soil. Not bad, your performance exceeded my expectations, you can stop, I recognize you as a qualified subordinate. The speed of light was indeed too fast. Although Orochimaru had already used ninjutsu, he was accidentally concentrated by one of the light bullets. There was an obvious gap in the hem of Orochimaru's clothes, and the edge of the gap was charred black. "Lei Luo-kun, you gave me a big surprise. Is that your blood limit?" "That's right, the limit of my bloodstain is light escape. I can transform myself into light, have the speed of light, and release some simple light escape ninjutsu." Lei Luo replied. "Now that it is used, there is no need to hide it. If you hide it blindly, it will make people feel that there is a ghost in your heart. After all, you have used it when you played Asuma before. It is better to admit that it is your own bloodline. It's really interesting ability. Let's stop here today. Tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, it's still the 4th training ground gathering. I'll take you to pick up your first mission." "Okay, disband." After speaking, Orochimaru he left in an instant. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the task and getting the God level lottery point 1. Then let's have a meal together at 6 o'clock tonight. We will gather at the gate of this training ground. The 3 Lei Luo left as soon as possible. Lei Luo returned home. "Hey, I didn't expect that my guide Jonin would be Orochimaru. Could it be because of the ability of glitter fruit? I'll have to pay more attention in the future. But don't worry too much, I have gleaming fruit, I can't beat it, but I can always run. Oh, yes, I still have a lottery point, let's see what I can draw. System, come out, I want to draw a lottery." Lei Luo finished speaking, the turntable in his mind came out, and he saw that the 6 prizes this time were: S-Class Weapon, Lake Toya. S-Class Weapon, Hidao Ichiman. S-Class Weapon, Zanpakudo Hirenmaru. S-Class Weapon, Zanpakudo Ryujin Jaka. S-Class Weapon, Infinity Blade. S-Class Weapon, Water Silver Scimitar. Damn it, why are they all weapons? The weapon is the weapon, don't draw it to Lake Toya, it's just a wooden sword, it has a hair. Start the draw. Ding, congratulations to the host for getting. Chapter 7 S-Class Weapons. Brief warmth. Ding, congratulations to the host for obtaining an S-Class weapon, Zanpakudo Hirenmaru. Ha ha ha, not bad, not Toya Lake, what is that thing used for? Eating curry. Lei Luo was also very excited when he saw that he had drawn Hirenmaru. He remembered that Hirenmaru was the saber of Tushiro Hitsugaya, the captain of the 10th division in the manga, Grim Reaper. Zanpakudo, the strongest ice and snow type in the soul world. Hirenmaru's spirit of liberation is also very domineering. It is, Shuangtian ni sitting say Hirenmaru, sitting in the frost. Hirenmaru. Shikai knife gives birth to an iron chain, and the end of the iron chain has a crescent-shaped blade, it looks like the tail of an ice dragon. The huge Reiatsu can create an ice dragon from the air, which can change the color of the world. The power of this knife is only stronger than that of the Hyoten, ice-style Kekkei Genkei in the Hokage ninja world. Thinking of this, Lei Luo couldn't help itching his hands and wanted to try the power of Hirenmaru. He suddenly thought that Konoha has a number 44 training ground, known as the Forest of Death. There are many beasts in it, and there are usually few people. It is usually used as a test room for Chunin exams. Isn't that the right place to be sparsely populated and numerous beasts? Lei Luo immediately set off for the Forest of Death. Death Forest. Lei Luo, who was wandering around in the forest, finally stopped. He looked at the creature in front of him and felt that he had found a suitable target for the knife test, a black bear. This black bear has bright black fur and is full of momentum. It feels like it can already be called it's a ninja. Alas, poor black bear, you are unlucky, you met me Lei Luo today. Sit upright in the frosty sky. Hirenmaru. Lei Luo was afraid that others would find out what was going on here, so he decided to make a quick decision and went straight to Shikai. Jinchuriki column. Lei Luo held Hirenmaru and swung forward with a knife, sending out a chain of ice bullets, hitting the black bear in front of him. Roar. The black bear was instantly enraged, slapped the ground with 4 palms, rushed towards him, opened his mouth wide, and saliva flew out. Lei Luo could even see the tongue shaking inside. Ice Dragon Spinning Tail. Vacuum Ice Blade. Lei Luo slashed twice in a row. The icy blade air flew out, directly splitting the black bear in front of him and freezing it into ice cubes. The vacuum ice blade was castrated, and it dissipated after cutting down a few trees. I didn't expect Hiranmaru to be so capable. Fortunately, there is no one else here. Since I have already revealed the bloodstain boundaries of the light escape, then let Hiranmaru be my backhand. Usually, Hiranmaru can only be used as an ordinary knife. If I was in the village, and I was peeked by the old pervert from the third generation using the telescope technique, my scalp would feel numb just thinking about it. No wonder Tsunade had to leave the village. Oops, with such a big commotion, someone in the village will definitely come to investigate later. You have to leave quickly. Thinking of this, Lei Luo hurriedly left. Figures flickered, and several people with masks on their faces and wearing black robes jumped over and looked at the remaining ice cubes on the ground, blood stains, and the remaining ice balls where the trees were cut down. Hyoten Ice-style Ninjutsu. It is possible that the Kurigakure Minazuki clan and others fought here. What will the Kurigakure ninja do here? I must report to the third generation of Hokage-sama immediately. Go. Several Anbu ninjas left immediately and ran towards the Hokage building. Hokage building. The third generation of Hokage frowned slightly after listening to the descriptions of several Anbu ninjas. Kurigakure actually sent such people to infiltrate Konoha to investigate the situation. Although we don't know who he fought unexposed, we can't take it lightly. No one knows how many people Kurigakure sent. Kurigakure village sent people to investigate the information. It seems that they are ready for war. Lord Hokage, should I? Having said that, Anbu ninja suddenly made a sound and turned his eyes behind him. Squeak tilde. Hokage's office was pushed open, and an old man with a cane and a bandage walked in. Hiruzen, leave this matter to our roots. Our Konoha village can't be underestimated. I will find all the bedbugs hidden in the village. The only one who can enter Hokage's office without saying hello in advance is probably the old man in front of him. Top leaders of Konoha, the leader of Konoha's roots, Shimura Danzo, a good friend of the three generations. Danzo, you came on time tilde. Sarutobi Hiruzen, the third generation of eyes, said indifferently. Hiruzen, you are Hokage, the big tree of Konoha, and I am the root buried deep under Konoha. Danzo also doesn't make extra courtesies. We are absolutely bound to do this. Okay, that's up to you Danzo, but don't go too far. We, Konoha, must not be the one who starts the war. HMPH, you are too weak, Hiruzen, we Konoha are not afraid of any village. Don't worry, everything I do is for Konoha. Danzo pushed the door open and walked out. You guys also go down and strengthen the vigilance in the village. Yes. The third generation lit a pot of smoke again, and the smoke seemed a bit illusory. The entrance of the fourth training ground. When Lei Luo returned home after trying the knife, he remembered that the team members had made an appointment to have dinner together at night, and hurried over when he saw the time. Kurenai Yuhi looked at Lei Luo who was coming, and pouted. Lei Luo-kun, why are you here? You're almost late. Lei Luo, isn't it late? Kurenai Yuhi, how can you make girls wait for you? Yugao and I have been waiting here for a while. Lei Luo, okay, it's all my fault. Azuki Yugao pulled Yuhi. Yuhi, we agreed to meet at 6 o'clock, but we too came a little early. Lei Luo-kun is not too late. You don't blame him anymore. Kurenai Yuhi, HMPH, it's his fault that he's late, but since you said that, Yugao, then I'll spare him. Lei Luo, okay, as an apology, I'll treat you to dinner tonight. What do you two want to eat? Kurenai Yuhi, it's almost there, hehe. After discussing a few words, the three decided to eat barbecue. To eat barbecue, you must eat the barbecue of Akamichi's family. Thinking about the big physique of those people in Akamichi's family, it must be possible to maintain that strong body without the help of food. Akamichi's barbecue is also famous in Konoha cuisine. Lei Luo is in a good mood tonight. Of course it's cool to have two little beauties by her side. Looking at the shy faces of Yuhi and Yugao, Lei Luo almost touched them. In addition, the S-class weapon Hyarinmaru was drawn out today, and his appetite was even greater. Soon, in Yuhi's reluctance, the three parted. If it wasn't for Yuhi being the eldest lady of the Yuhi family, I would really like to go to Lei Luo's house to fall asleep at night. At night, Lei Luo was lying on the bed. Tomorrow will start the first mission as a ninja. I don't know what mission it will be. As a Sannin, Orochimaru shouldn't lead the team to take on the tasks of catching cats and walking dogs. Forget it, it's useless to think so much. Sleep. Chapter 8 Sea-Level Mission, Exterminate the Bandits. Early in the morning, the fourth training ground. The fourth group has assembled, waiting to guide John and Orochimaru to release the mission. Kurenai Yuhi said excitedly, Lei Luo-kun, I don't know what mission we will receive today. Azuki Yugao stood aside with his sword in his arms. I heard that many seniors who graduated before, the first task they took was a simple task of catching cats, walking dogs and carrying water. Kurenai Yuhi pouted. What? This kind of thing can be done without a ninja. Lei Luo said helplessly. Okay Yuhi, don't worry, after all, our teacher is Master Orochimaru, so he won't take those simple tasks. Lei Luo-kun is right, you are my Orochimaru's subordinates. I don't know when Orochimaru has appeared in front of them. Very well, no one is late. Remember, as a ninja, the concept of time is the most important thing. I have already accepted the first task for you, the sea-level task, exterminate the bandits. Sea-level mission. Yes, your mission is to suppress the bandits on the Moxigan Mountain near Moxixi Village, a border village between the Kingdom of Fire and the Kingdom of Field. The bandits here have been entrenched on the Moxigan Mountain for a long time, often looting nearby villages and passing caravans. Moxixi Village came to our Konoha to issue a mission, asking to exterminate the bandits here. Unless necessary for this mission, I will not take action. If I take action, the mission will fail. This time, Lei Luo, as the leader of the team, will give you 30 minutes to prepare. After 30 minutes, we will gather at the entrance of the village. Orochimaru left in an instant. In the world of Hokage, there are always a lot of bandits, and it can be said that there are countless of them. They use natural dangers such as mountains and rivers as barriers, and they plunder and kill every once in a while. The people in the village are regarded as domestic animals, and the gang of gangsters on Moxigan Mountain is one of them. This mission also means that Lei Luo will have the first real battle after crossing into the world of Hokage. After gathering at the entrance of the village, Orochimaru led Lei Luo and the three of them out of the village, galloping all the way towards Moxigan Mountain. When we arrived at Moxigan Mountain, it was already evening. The mission this time is to exterminate all the people in the cottage. Lei Luo, you can act now. This is the signal gun. After 2 hours, gather here. If you release the signal gun in the cottage in advance, it will be regarded as this time. Mission failed. Action. After saying that, Orochimaru disappeared, not knowing where he was hiding in the forest. The night was pitch black as a cloud of ink, without a trace of moonlight. Sometimes a gust of cold wind blows, and the branches make a noise like a night owl. The system prompt suddenly sounded in Lei Luo's mind. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for triggering the mission, the first drop of blood. First blood. As a ninja, fighting to kill is essential, please wipe out all the bandits. Task reward. God level lottery point 1. Orochimaru left, the three of Lei Luo gathered together. Lei Luo temporarily spoke as the captain and said, according to the information, there are about 40 thieves in this cottage, all of them are adult men, and there are a few poor women who were kidnapped up the mountain by them. There are only 3 of us and we can only outwit, incompetent. Quote. There are 3 guards in front of the cottage. We need to kill them first, and then use the transformation technique to sneak into the cottage and assassinate them. If the cottage is robbery, it means that the assassination is exposed, then gather at the post to prevent the thieves from escaping and descending the mountain. Any doubts? No doubts, get started. Kurenai Yuhi seemed unbearable and asked Lei Luo, will all the old people, women and children in the cottage also be killed? Lei Luo sighed and replied, of course not. As ninjas, our mission is our #1 priority. Those bandits will definitely be exterminated. As for the women who were taken captive up the mountain by them, save them if they can. Kurenai Yuhi pursed his lips and said nothing more. Lei Luo, any questions now? Kurenai Yuhi, Azuki Yugao, no doubt. Lei Luo, okay, let's get started. Lei Luo quietly came to the back of a sentry, with one hand covering the bandit's mouth, and the kunai in the other hand slid across the bandit's neck in an instant. Lei Luo looked at the other two sentries. Kurenai Yuhi and Azuki Yugao had also successfully killed them. The three looked at each other and used the transformation technique according to the appearance of the sentry in front of them. It's really easy for ninjas to deal with these ordinary people. All they are worried about is the state of mind of Kurenai Yuhi and Azuki Yugao. The three dispersed, sneaked into the cottage, and the assassination began. Ho-ho ... Blood gushed out, and the bandit's eyes widened, but he was unable to struggle. 8.9.10. At this moment, life has become a cold number. Looking at the fallen bandit in front of him, Hirinmaru and Lei Luo's hands did not stop, entered another room, and continued to complete the task. Lei Luo thought to himself, the first time he killed someone, he didn't have the kind of soft-handed and disgusting feeling described in the novel in his previous life. After all, he came to this world, and the 3 battles are imminent. Orochimaru may have thought of this, and would bring them out to perform killing tasks just after they graduated from school, so as to train them early. It would be a relief for them to be able to die unconsciously. Enemy attack. Suddenly, the piercing cries of bandits came from the yard in the distance. Immediately afterwards, the lights in the cottage continued to light up. It seems to be exposed after all. Lei Luo killed the bandit in front of him and rushed towards the sentry post. I'm sorry, I was careless and let the thief find out and call out. The 3 of Lei Luo gathered together, but Kurenai Yuhi said with a guilty face. It's okay. Most of our tasks have been completed, and the remaining soldiers, the old and the weak, can't make waves. Lei Luo comforted. The most important thing is that we continue to complete the task. Lei Luo finished speaking, he rushed up again. With the time to speak, the bandits have gathered over. Lei Luo slashed a thief's throat with a Hirinmaru and immediately did a backflip, narrowly dodging a slash at him. One instantly came behind the other and slashed with a knife. Go to hell. A big man with a ferocious face stabbed Lei Luo in the waist with a knife while he was being entangled by his companions. Unfortunately, the expected blood spurt did not appear. The direction in which the big knife was stabbed turned into a bright light, and then disappeared. Natural department. Elementalized. No, it's impossible. Nothing is impossible. When you kill innocent people indiscriminately, sooner or later you will end up like this. Lei Luo turned around and said lightly. Reaching out a finger, a golden light flashed away. In the next second, a blood hole as wide as a finger appeared on the head of this hideous bandit and fell to the ground. The corpses were lying on the ground in a mess, and the air was full of the pungent smell of blood. Suddenly a flash of lightning flashed across the sky, followed by a torrential downpour. More than half an hour later, the 3 of Lei Luo reunited again, and behind them there were only corpses all over the floor. Most of them died in Lei Luo's hands. This heavy rain made the blood pooled into countless streams flowing on the ground, and then slowly seeped into the soil. The thieves in the entire cottage were all dead, leaving only a few poor girls who were kidnapped by them, who were cowering and hiding in a room, crying in fear. The system prompt also sounded in Lei Luo's mind again. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for completing the first drop of blood on the mission and destroying all the bandits. Get the mission reward God level lottery point *1. Chapter 9s. Level Props, Fairy Beans. It's finally over, Lei Luo thought. Lei Luo arrived at the meeting point agreed with Orochimaru. Orochimaru was already waiting there. Orochimaru. Well done, those women. Moxigan village will be taken in by someone, let's go back to the village. Yes. Lei Luo-kun, really a qualified ninja seedling, I can't help it. Hehehehe. In the pouring rain, Orochimaru's voice was extremely feminine. After returning to the village and submitting the mission report, the Orochimaru team disbanded and went back to rest. As for Orochimaru, he disappeared before entering the village, and he did not know where he went. Lei Luo returned home, washed briefly, and fell asleep. Although Lei Luo has the ability of glittering fruit and higher Enmaru, his body is very ordinary, and after a long battle, mental fatigue is unavoidable. After sleeping for a long time, Lei Luo woke up. I finally feel alive. It's really tiring after a day's raids and fierce battles. Like Dame Senju Hashirama and Ninja Shira Uchiha Madara who fight for a long time, how did they persevere? No wonder Uchiha Madara keeps saying, do you want to dance too? In his eyes, everyone except Senju Hashirama is trash. Lei Luo stretches, if he meets Madara in the future, he can still say, I can't help but want to dance, and I want to dance. System, come out, I remember that I still have a god-level lottery point, right? System, yes, host, you still have a god-level lottery point. Lei Luo, system, don't you have any special abilities or something? Just a lottery turntable. System, yes, the system has its own storage space, but the storage space can only store system lottery items. Lei Luo, damn, why didn't you tell me earlier? I thought you were the turntable. System, host, you didn't ask me. Lei Luo, question mark closing parenthesis quote. Lei Luo, forget it, I don't care about your system, I'm going to draw a lottery. System, ding, random rewards are being drawn. The sound of the system machinery appeared again, and 6 different rewards appeared again in the 6 fan-shaped reels. S-Class Skill, Return of Life. S-Rank Skill, Eye of Darkness. S-Class Items, Devil Fruit. Meatball Fruit. S-Class Item, Fairy Bean 1. S-Level Skills, Forbidden Technique. The 8 Inner Gates. S-Class Weapon, Lake Toya. Lei Luo, damn it, why did Toya Lake appear again? Are you targeting me in the system? System, all rewards are drawn at random, don't blame the system for the host's blackface. Lei Luo, 0.0. Lei Luo, fortunately, except for Lake Toya, the others are okay, worthy of being an S-rank reward. Return of Life, is a skill that appeared in One Piece. It can freely control the body, hair, and internal organs. As long as the consciousness is poured into it, it can freely control any place. The Eye of Darkness is the core of the male magician in the dungeon, using the Eye of Darkness to replace the heart of the body, thereby obtaining huge magic power. Do not die even if HP is 0, but enter recovery mode. This is a huge amount of chakra and immortality in the ninja world. With this, you don't want to make waves. Lei Luo thought to himself. The 3rd meatball fruit is the same as the glitter fruit that has been eaten, it is the devil fruit from One Piece. It is a type of devil fruit superhuman. After eating it, it has a pad of meat like a cat's paw. It can bounce anything, including fatigue, pain, and even injuries. It can also bounce air into a palm at the speed of light. Shape shock waves and pierce objects continuously. The fairy beans after that are a magical item from Dragon Ball. As long as there is still a breath, no matter how many injuries you eat, you can recover well. Forbidden Technique. The 8th Inner Gates, is Might Guy's trick, almost kicked out the Hokage finale. The current Might Guy is only his graduate of the same period, far from the future guy. The Last Pit, the garbage wooden sword, Lake Toya not to mention. Lei Luo, draw, start the lottery. Ding dong, prizes are being drawn. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for obtaining an S-class item, Shondo *1. Lei Luo looked at the lottery results and pouted. Although the fairy bean is very useful, there is only one. Talking is better than nothing, and it is another chance to save lives. Lei Luo knew that the outbreak of the Third World War was not far away, and he must improve himself as soon as possible to develop the ability to shine. All intrigues and tricks are paper tigers in front of strength. Only when you are strong enough can you control everything. Meanwhile, somewhere on the Konoha frontier, Orochimaru's secret laboratory. Orochimaru took out a hair and started a simple test. After a while, Orochimaru looked at the test results with a frenzy. Is there a strong vitality in cells? It can even promote the growth of plants. I don't know how it will react with Mokuden, wood-style, cells. Light escaped Kekkei Genkei. As far as I know, this kind of special blood has not appeared in the ninja world for hundreds of years. It is very similar to the hydration technique of the ghost lamp family, but it has great penetrating power and heat. In terms of pure combat, it is far superior to the hydration technique of the ghost lamp family. However, what I value is not this kind of combat ability. Lei Luo-kun, you really gave me a big surprise. Further experiments were continued. And that hair is Lei Luo's hair, and I don't know when Orochimaru kept it. Behind him, on the dark wall, are densely packed with dozens of huge petri dishes as tall as one person. In this petri dish, dozens of human bodies of different ages are quietly soaking in it. There are delicate women, strong men, and children. In the following days, Lei Luo would train with Yuhi and Yugao every day to familiarize himself with his abilities and further develop them. All the abilities of the devil fruit are developed slowly, and the system rewards are only those developed by the yellow monkey at the beginning. Lei Luo lived in an era of information explosion in his previous life. He didn't know how much bigger his brain was than Huang Yuan, so it should be no problem to develop some abilities that suit him. As Sannin, Orochimaru has to be busy with research again. It took about a month for the fourth shift to take out a mission. At first, it was all about exterminating bandits and escorting supplies. Later, he began to accept some missions of chasing missing nin and investigating intelligence. With the passage of time and the collection of intelligence, Lei Luo knew that peaceful days would not be long. Just like that, a year and a half passed slowly. Konoha Hokage Building. A shadow flashed by and appeared in Hokage's office. Lord Hokage, urgent information. Chapter 10_Emergency Information. The war is about to start. Lord Hokage, urgent information. Sunagakur village troops are gathering at the border, and many leading troops have entered the hinterland of our country of fire. Sarutobi Hiruzen III took a deep breath after listening to Anbu's report. 3 generations of Kazekage disappeared a few years ago, and there have been many conflicts in the country of Hefeng, the country of fire. Do you want to start a war by gathering a large army this time? Anbu, Lord Hokage, Iwagakure village troops have also assembled on a large scale at Kanabi Bridge, intending to attack the country of grass. The country of grass is only a small country, but its geographical location is located on the border between the two countries, serving as a strategic buffer point for the two countries. Sarutobi Hiruzen, it seems that the two countries have made an appointment. What about Kumogakure and Kurigakure? Anbu, I haven't received any news yet. Sarutobi Hiruzen put down his bong and exhaled. Notify the elders and Orochimaru to assemble for a meeting. Hokage Building Conference Room. Sarutobi Hiruzen took a puff of his bong and said, according to our information, both Sunagakure and Iwagakure villages have begun to gather troops on the border. What do you think? Kaharu Udatane snorted coldly. Sunagakure village and Iwagakure village gathered troops. There is no doubt that the purpose is to start a war. HMPH, isn't it war? We Konoha are not afraid of any villages. Danzo still spoke strongly. Sarutobi Hiruzen listened to Danzo's words and didn't say much, but asked sideways, Orochimaru, what do you think? Orochimaru replied, "Teacher, I think what Elder Danzo said makes sense, but it's still too simple to read. Although only the villages of Sunagakure and Iwagakure are in action right now, Kumogakure and Kurigakure will definitely take advantage of the situation in the event of a war. We Konoha have no problem with 1-2s, but 1-on-4s are impossible." Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded. "Then what do you think we Konoha should do?" Orochimaru licked the corner of his mouth. "First, send troops to the border to show our attitude of Konoha. Second, contact Kumogakure and Kurigakure to see if an alliance can be formed. If the alliance is successful, Sunagakure and Iwagakure will be like turtles in a urn, nothing to worry about." Sarutobi Hiruzen: "Fine, just do as you say. Orochimaru, you lead the team to the country of grass, and Iwagakure will leave it to you. Let Tsukumo lead the team from Sunagakure's side. As for Kurigakure and Kumogakure..." Sarutobi Hiruzen was a little uncertain for a while. "Danzo, Kurigakure and Kumogakure will be left to Uchiha. Since they are in Konoha, they should give their strength to the village." Sarutobi Hiruzen: "But the Uchiha clan are mostly good at Kaden, fire style, and will be restrained by Kurigakure." Danzo, Hiruzen, don't forget your teacher's teachings." Sarutobi Hiruzen thought for a moment. "Okay, then Uchiha. However, let the Hyuga clan also go to Kurigakure's side. Their Byakugan can see through the art of Kurigakure, which is just right." Then he continued, "Kaharu, Menyon, the logistics can be left to the two of you." "No problem, we won't hold back Konoha." Kaharu Udatane and Homura Mitokado responded. After the meeting, Sarutobi Hiruzen, the third generation, immediately summoned Uchiha Fugaku, the head of the Uchiha clan. After a long talk, Sandemu finally persuaded the Uchiha clan to go to the border of Kurigakure to station. Uchiha Fugaku left the Hokage building, returned to the Uchiha clan, and immediately convened a family meeting. Uchiha Tribe, Nanga Shrine. The third generation hopes that our Uchiha family can go to the border of the water country to be stationed. If Kurigakure starts a war, our Uchiha will be the vanguard, and then the third generation will send troops to support. What do you think about this matter?" Uchiha Fugaku got straight to the point, and directly stated the requirements of the third generation. Since the death of the mirror, the three generations have long stopped treating us Uchiha as part of the village. I don't agree." The old man who spoke was full of anger. It was one of the elders of the Uchiha clan, Uchiha Fengwo. The Uchiha Kagami mentioned in his words as Jonin, the elite of the Uchiha clan, who served as a member of the second-generation Hokage elite guards when he was young, and was teammates with Sarutobi Hiruzen, Shimura Danzo, Homura Mitokado, Kaharu Udatane, and Akamichi. Mirror has a strong will to fire and has dedicated his life to Konoha, and he is one of the few Uchiha people who can gain the trust of the second-generation Hokage. However, in the eyes of the Uchiha people, if Mirror does not die, it is very likely that he will become a member of the Konoha elders. By then, their Uchiha's prestige in Konoha will be even higher. It's a pity that Jing, who was highly hoped by the clan, died in an ordinary intelligence mission. When the mirror was killed, the Uchiha family was shaken for several days. Reason: it's simple. The recovered corpse of Uchiha Kagami is missing a pair of eyes. 3 Tomo Sharingan. Even Shimura Danzo, who participated in the mission with the mirror, also lost an eye. I believe everyone knows the importance of Sharingan to Uchiha. The coincidence among them has to be taken seriously by the Uchiha people. To this end, Uchiha also forcibly formed an investigation team to investigate the secret of Uchiha Kagami's death. It is a pity that the investigation team was strictly disbanded by the 3 generations of Hokage and Shimura Danzo as soon as the investigation began. That's right, this is definitely a conspiracy by the top of Konoha, please think twice. Uchiha Celestial Silkworm, also one of the elders of Uchiha. That's right, yeah. Other tribesmen also expressed their opposition. Don't worry, as a condition of participating in the war, we Uchiha can participate in the 4th generation Hokage campaign. And after the war, we Uchiha will have 2 places in Anbu. After Uchiha Fugaku finished speaking, the clan members fell silent. Uchiha Fengwo, Lord Patriarch, do you think Sandaiji's words are credible? Uchiha Fugaku is full of confidence. The 3rd generation will definitely not lose faith in such a trivial matter as the 2 Anbu places. As for the 4th generation Hokage election, if our Uchiha wins great military exploits on the battlefield, even if the 3rd generation obstructs them, they will have a huge reputation. And prestige is enough to push us up. This is one of our few opportunities. I think it's worth a shot. I believe in us Uchiha. Uchiha Fengwo heard the words, pondered for a while, and then replied. Okay, now that you're the patriarch, then we'll listen to you, Lord Fugaku. It's all for Uchiha. For Uchiha, the tribesmen were enthusiastic. Okay, then I announce that the Uchiha family army was established today. Everyone go back and get ready and set off today. Uchiha Fugaku was in high spirits. Yes, the tribesmen responded in succession. At the same time, Lei Luo finally ushered in their new task. Chapter 11_New Task, Exposed. Lei Luo trio are training at the 4th training ground as usual. As the war draws near and the people in the village are mobilized, a tense atmosphere has spread. In this year and a half, all 3 of Lei Luo have been steadily improving. With Lei Luo's further development of glitter fruit, he has not only become comfortable with glitter fruit's original abilities, but also developed many new abilities. Light escape, light therapy, saw the wound on the leg of the rabbit in Lei Luo's hand heal quickly with a burst of soft light. After the rabbit's wounds were all healed, Lei Luo put it down. Wow, Lei Luo, your technique is finally finished. Yuhi cheered happily. That's right, this technique is one of the abilities of Lei Luo's newly developed glitter fruit. Its principle is similar to palm sage art, by activating cells in the body to achieve a healing effect. However, the recovery ability of the sage art consumes the original vitality of the patient, and Lei Luo's light contains a strong vitality. In addition to this healing ability, he also developed several powerful lethal tricks by relying on the glittering fruit, just waiting for someone to test it. Lei Luo, Yugao is majoring in swordsmanship, and Yuhi is majoring in demonic illusion. What the team lacks is medical ability, and Lei Luo's current skills just make up for the team's shortcomings. In the past year and a half, not only Lei Luo has made progress, but Yuhi has also learned a lot from his father demonic illusion, and he has mastered a demonic illusion hell viewing technique that can be called the ultimate move. Let people see the most fearful scene in their hearts, so they lose their ability to resist and are slaughtered by others. Yugao's Konoha-style swordsmanship has also progressed rapidly, and now the Konoha-style swordsmanship Dance of the Three Suns and Moons can be easily used. Moreover, with the improvement of the strength of the 3 and the completion of the tasks, now all 3 of Lei Luo have been promoted to Chunin, and during the year and a half of getting along, Yugao has also become Lei Luo's girlfriend, that one. The mission progress of Campus Overlord Mission 2 that was triggered at that time reached 2/3. Although Lei Luo also wanted to complete the task and get the God-level lottery points, but Lei Luo is not a stallion, and things like feelings can only be left to nature. However, the promotion of Chunin in wartime is very simple. As long as the master has 3 C-rank ninjutsu, he can be promoted to Chunin. It is conceivable that the conflict between the Land of Fire and the Land of Hefeng has become more and more serious. Just when Yuhi and Yugao cheered the success of Lei Luo's new art development, Orochimaru suddenly came to the 4th training ground. Hey, I'm sorry, my dear subordinates. Orochimaru said sorry, but his expression was still cold. In the next period of time, I have some things. You are all Chunin now, you can do the task without Jonin leading the team. Then during my absence, Lei Luo will lead the team to complete the task. Mission. As for the mission, I have already taken it for you. Quote. Hey, I hope you'll both be alive when we meet next time. After speaking, he handed the quest scroll to Lei Luo, and then disappeared in an instant. Orochimaru left. Lei Luo immediately opened the quest scroll to check the quest content. B-level mission. Investigate the caravan. The task that the 4th squad will perform is to track and scout a suspected caravan. This caravan's whereabouts are a little strange, so Konoha is eyeing it. The situation is turbulent now, and it is possible for all to go to war at any time, so we cannot let go of any suspicious places. But just staring at it, it is impossible to send someone directly to attack. You must first conduct an investigation to confirm his identity. Otherwise, as long as it is suspected, it will be directly eliminated, and the country of fire will be in chaos. The 4th squad does not need to fight, but only needs to track and investigate. Once a problem with the caravan is found, it will immediately send back information and report it to the village. But if the caravan was really sent by the enemy village and there were ninjas hidden, then the 4th squad might be attacked at any time. Because of this mission is rather special. It is only a B-level mission to investigate the caravan. After learning about the situation of the mission, Lei Luo asked Yuhi and Yugao to go back to prepare, and then gathered at the village entrance and set off. Out of Konoha. The 4th shift went all the way. A few days later, the 3 of Lei Luo appeared in a small town far away from Konoha. The caravan, the last information showed, stayed in this small town. When the 4th shift arrived, it just so happened that the caravan was about to set off. Lei Luo followed quietly, and secretly observed the situation of the caravan. This caravan seems to have no flaws, dozens of people, no one shows any strangeness, it seems that they are ordinary people. But after trailing all the way, after a while, Lei Luo gradually found something wrong. There's something wrong with this caravan. Lei Luo spoke softly, but his tone was very certain. Did you find anything? Yuhi looked at Lei Luo with a little doubt, not understanding why Lei Luo was so sure. Have you noticed, this caravan seems to be all ordinary people. Lei Luo's eyes flickered, looking at the caravan in front, and said softly. What's there to doubt about that? Yuhi still doesn't know, so it seems that they are ordinary people, so there should be no problem. Lei Luo shook his head seriously and said, no, this is an abnormal place. Now that the ninja world is so chaotic, how can a caravan not hire ninja guards? Because everyone looks like normal people, there is something wrong with this team. Hearing what Lei Luo said, she immediately reacted. You mean? That's right, there must be an enemy ninja hiding in this caravan. Lei Luo was very sure. Although I don't know what their purpose is, it's enough to just confirm their identities. Since Captain Orochimaru can entrust us with this task, it must have been discovered by the preliminary investigation. What we have to do is to continue to investigate their true identities. Yugao nodded and said, well, our mission is to investigate, and it has been completed now, but how to submit the mission is a problem. Yuhi had a slight headache and said, it's impossible to just leave them alone. If they suddenly disappear and hide, it's also a big problem, and they have to follow. Well, Lei Luo, you are fast, go back alone and pass the information back to the village, how about Yugao and I continue to follow? Listening to Yuhi's words, Lei Luo suddenly shook his head, the corners of his mouth twitched slightly. It's no longer needed. Why? They found us. If the download has insufficient points or fails, go back and download again. Chapter 12_Fierce Battle, Kill Jonin. What? Although I don't know how the other party perceives it, it is already a fact that they have exposed. However, it can be seen that the guys in the caravan are definitely not ordinary ninjas, I am afraid they are sentient ninjas. At this moment, the caravan in front had already stopped, and some figures looked back with awe-inspiring eyes. Whoosh! A few guys who looked like ordinary people instantly showed extraordinary speed and completely exposed the identity of this caravan. What to do? Yuhi watched those people show their speed directly, rushed towards this direction, and immediately looked at Lei Luo. Judging from the movement speed of these people, they should all be elite chunin. This is an elite army composed of elite chunin, so the leader should be a jonin. Since they're here, they'll all be slaughtered. Looking at the rushing enemy, Lei Luo's eyes were awe-inspiring. The guy letting over there should be a jonin. That jonin, can you block it? Lei Luo asked. Yes. Yuhi and Yugao looked serious, but nodded anyway. That's good, leave the rest to me. Next moment. Lei Luo's figure flickered and rushed directly to the nearest ninja. Laser Ray raised his hand and shot at the ninja in front of him, but then he flashed and appeared in front of the other ninja, holding Hiranmaru and slashing at the neck of the enemy ninja. In just one face-to-face, the enemy has already been eliminated by 2 chunin. Damn it! The enemy jonin let out a low growl and was about to attack Lei Luo, but was blocked by Yuhi and Yugao. Demonic illusion. Hell viewing technique. Yuhi flipped his fingers, quickly hand seal, raising his hand was a killer move. The enemy jonin seemed to have seen the most feared thing, and he was instantly in a trance. Yugao would not miss this great opportunity, and stabbed the enemy jonin's heart directly with his sword. To Yugao's surprise, the jonin in front of him actually shattered and turned into ice cubes. Ice clone. This time, it finally completely exposed the source of this elite force. Kurigakur Village. This captain is a ninja of the Mizunoyuki clan. The one used as Hyoten ice style of the bloodline boundary. Far away. 2 corpses fell in front of Lei Luo. And 4 weeks, there are 5 elite chunin left. All of them had shocked expressions on their faces. Damn, this guy. It actually killed them in an instant. The speed is really too fast. Look out, he's here again. Lei Luo suddenly rushed in front of a person, holding Hiranmaru in his hand, and waved it suddenly. The person in front of him has been separated. Sweden, water style. The art of the water flood. Futon, wind style. Wind cut. Sweden, water style. Water colliding wave. While the remaining ninjas were horrified, when Lei Luo cut the ninja in half, he did not hesitate to use ninjutsu. In an instant, the wind whistled and the water was soaring. Whoa! The water flowed with the gust of wind, rolling in like a stormy sea, engulfing Lei Luo with a bang. But Lei Luo didn't care, turned into light and flew into the sky in an instant. Tomo Yatagasaki raised his hand and countless light bombs smashed down. After Lei Luo's continuous adaptation and development of the ability of the glittering fruit, the power of Yagatachong Tomo is now close to S-class ninjutsu. Under this dense and dazzling light bullet, the remaining chunin was inevitably beaten into a sieve. Very good. Lei Luo's mouth raised slightly, his figure flickered and disappeared in place. At the same time, Yuhi and Yugao against John and Minazuki was extremely intense. Yuhi and Yugao are only chunin. The cooperation between demonic illusion and swordsmanship is extremely difficult, so Mizuki Jonin has to be careful. But Shui Wuyu Jonin has the blood-stained boundaries of Hyoten ice style after all, and Jonin has more chakra than Yuhi in both, and has always been in the upper hand. And Yuhi and Yugao's chakras are about to be exhausted, and their physical strength is also exhausted, and they can't hold on anymore. HMPH, you guys are about to hold on. It's enough to be proud that 2 chunins can hold me down for so long. After killing you, I will send the remaining kid down to accompany you. Shui Wuyu Jonin said viciously. Jonin faced chunin, and he couldn't help but feel irritable that he had not won for so long. At this moment, his heart suddenly tightened, and he immediately hand-sealed and used the avatar technique. Bang! A ray of light hit his original standing position. I am not ashamed to say it, and I don't know who is going to send whom. The person here is Lei Luo. Yuhi, Yugao, the 2 of you should go to the side to rest first, recover from your injuries, and stay alert. As for this guy, leave it to me. Lei Luo looked like no one else, completely angered Shui Wuyu Jonin. Damn kid, who are you looking down on? I'm the Jonin of the Shui Wuyu clan. Hyoten, ice style, swallow blowing snow. Shui Wuyu Jonin quickly hand-sealed, and quickly blew out hundreds of ice crystal shuriken, flying towards Lei Luo overwhelmingly. Shish. Lei Luo sneered disdainfully, his body flashed with light, the ice crystal shuriken flying from, light escape. Resist halo, were blocked one after another, turned into snow water with ease, and then evaporated cleanly. Can't afford the slightest wave. Don't underestimate the temperature of light. Now the temperature of light has reached 4,000 or 5,000 degrees Celsius, which is comparable to the temperature of the surface of the sun. Seeing this, Mizuki Jonin's expression remained unchanged, the hand seal in his hand flew over, and then he released the technique. Hyoten, ice style, demonic mirroring ice crystals. I saw an ice mirror suddenly condensed and surrounded Lei Luo. Lei Luo has now remembered this technique, which is the unique trick of Haku faced by Naruto's 7th squad in the original work during the mission of the Land of Waves. This technique uses blood to condense the moisture in the air, forming an ice mirror to surround the opponent. The caster can move in the ice mirror at will to attack the opponent. To crack this technique, the ice mirror must be broken. Now that he thought of a solution, Lei Luo let it go. Light escape, laser cannon. This trick is that Lei Luo gathers the light attribute chakra in his body, gathers it into his hands and releases it. The gathered light has terrifying penetrating power and heat, which is equivalent to an advanced level of laser light ninjutsu. With a loud bang, the ice mirror in front of him had been shattered and evaporated, and Lei Luo was also freed from the ice mirror. The ninjutsu was broken, and Mizuki Jonin knelt on the ground with blood on the corner of his mouth. Damn it, what kind of ninjutsu is this? The speed is so fast. The heat is so high. This Kurigakure village ninja was full of disbelief, and their demonic mirroring ice crystals were Class A ninjutsu. Coupled with the weirdness of Hyoten, ice style, he can use it to trap 3 Jonin ninjas of the same level. But I didn't expect that in the hands of this young man, he couldn't even hold it for one round. Light escape, Tiankong Cloud Sword, condenses the light in the hand and wraps the higher Enmaru, which is also the result of the development of Lei Luo's fruit. Tiankong Cloud Sword can not only condense into a lightsaber in the hand, but also cover the weapon in the hand with light to enhance its power. Lei Luo slashed directly at Mizuki Jonin with a knife. Facing Lei Luo's move, Shui Wuyu Jonin didn't even have a chance to dodge. Lei Luo's speed was too fast. Hyoten, ice style, ice wall. Under such circumstances, Mizuki Jonin could only perform Hyoten, ice style ninjutsu and wanted to resist. But the ice wall in front of him was instantly shattered, and Lei Luo slashed his neck with a knife. Not to mention himself, even the ice wall defense ninjutsu, which he had high hopes for, was cut off easily by Lei Luo like tofu. Hyoten, ice style Kekkei Genkei, which not only has high attack, but also slows down enemies. But facing Lei Luo's light escape, it seems that he has encountered a natural enemy, and there is no chance of resistance at all. Chapter 13 Mission Delivery, Hitaki Kakashi. Seeing Mizuki Jonin in front of him lose his vitality, Lei Luo couldn't help but feel relieved and heaved a sigh of relief. Seeing this, Yuhi and Yugao walked over quickly and asked, "Are you okay?" "It's okay, I'm just exhausted." Lei Luo shook his head. Although the glittering fruit is powerful, the premise is to have strong physical support. Although he has been exercising frantically this year, he is still young, and the consumption of glittering fruits is huge. In other words, his attack power and speed are very strong, but his staying power is not enough. When dealing with any enemy, he can only fight quickly. I'll go check the body, and then we'll hurry back to the village to report. Good. Walking to the corpses of the Kurigakure ninjas, Lei Luo began to search. To Lei Luo's disappointment, the weapons used by these Kurigakure ninjas are just ordinary steel swords, and there is no ninja. As for the captain's body, he didn't even find anything, so he was a little speechless. It seems that it is just a simple reconnaissance ninja team in the village of Kurigakure, and there are no important people. After shaking his head, Lei Luo took out a scroll. This is a scroll specially used to seal props. It killed 1 Jonin and 7 Chunin without any evidence. The corpse must be sealed and brought back. Even if it is a dead person, the village can obtain information from the dead body. Soon, Lei Luo sealed the bodies of 8 ninjas into the scroll. Those ordinary people in the caravan were affected by the aftermath of the previous battle, and there was not a single survivor. This is the sadness of ordinary people without power. After finishing everything, Lei Luo and the 3 hurried to the direction of the village. Konoha Hokage Building. The 3rd generation looked at the mission report submitted by Lei Luo, and then looked at the seal scroll that was put aside. Kurigakure Village. Go and give this scroll to the intelligence office and let them check it out to see if they can get any information. Yes. And Anbu suddenly appeared, took the scroll and left. That scroll was the one that sealed the corpses of the ninjas in the village of Kurigakure. Speaking of this, Lei Luo and the 3 returned. They submitted the mission intelligence book and the sealed scroll, and then they disbanded and went back to rest. Lei Luo returned home, looked at the familiar surroundings, touched the table with a thin layer of dust. He muttered to himself, I seem to have forgotten to close the window when I went out. Then he turned the calendar hanging on the wall 7 pages to today's date. Lei Luo carefully cleaned the house, then took out the trash can and went out to take out the trash. He dumped the garbage in the big trash can by the road. When Lei Luo was about to turn around and go back, a voice suddenly came from behind. Huh. Lei Luo-kun, long time no see. Lei Luo turned his head and looked in the direction of the sound, and sure enough, he saw a young man wearing goggles, about a dozen meters away, that is, diagonally across the street, shouting and waving at him. Uchiha Obito, the tail of the crane that I could barely hold back at the ninja school. Beside him, stood a seemingly thin boy and a young girl with a gentle smile. The boy had silver hair and was wearing a mask that covered most of his face, leaving only his eyes exposed. Putting kabuto with both hands, it looked a little tugged. After seeing this young man, Lei Luo couldn't help being stunned, and almost shouted, Hitaki 55. Who else is Hitaki Kakashi dressed like this? Shaking his head, throwing away his chaotic thoughts, he carried the trash can and walked over to Uchiha Obito who was yelling at him. Long time no see, Lei Luo-kun, the girl greeted with a gentle smile. It was Lei Luo's classmate and Uchiha Obito's teammate, Nohara Rin. Lei Luo, what a coincidence, I didn't expect to meet you as soon as we came back from outside the village. Rin and I are now Chunin. With a sunny smile on his face, Uchiha Obito said to Lei Luo. Ah, I forgot to introduce you, this dead fisheye is our teammate, his name is Hitaki Kakashi. Oh, hello, Kakashi, my name is Lei Luo. Well, hello, I'm Hitaki Kakashi. Hitaki Kakashi replied casually, turned his dead fish eyes with no emotion, and put his eyes on Lei Luo who was standing in front of him, and there was no trace of curiosity in his eyes. At this time, Uchiha Obito suddenly said, Right. Lei Luo-kun, we are going to eat ramen at Ichiraku Ramen Restaurant. Would you like to come with me? Today is my treat. Looking at Obito's enthusiastic appearance, Lei Luo's face twitched. Although the two were classmates, they were the 2 well-known crane tails at the ninja school, but they didn't have much overlap, which was too familiar. At this moment, Lei Luo suddenly thought that he still had a mission related to Kakashi. Campus Overlord Mission 1. Defeat all male ninjas during the same period. This task is only one short of Kakashi. Thinking of this, Lei Luo nodded to Obito and said, That's fine, but I have to challenge Kakashi first. Then he said to Kakashi, Kakashi, I heard that you are a genius who graduated early in this class. I want to challenge you, you won't dare. Kakashi had an arrogance of his own, and he was also a little curious about Lei Luo, so he agreed. Fourth training ground. Lei Luo and Kakashi stood in the field, their hands tied with the seal of opposition. Then Lei Luo rushed towards Kakashi instantly. Lei Luo raised his hand and sent 2 laser beams to Kakashi. See. To Lei Luo's surprise, Kakashi was shot through by the laser light before he could react. Kakashi! Nohara Rin exclaimed. Bang! Following Rin's exclamation, Kakashi, who had been pierced by the laser beam, instantly turned into a piece of wood. What a quick avatar! Lei Luo frowned. Lei Luo's pores tightened, he reacted directly, and pointed the direction behind him. Sure enough, Kakashi's attack was already at hand. I saw Kakashi's right wrist gently rotated, the kunai in his hand outlined a perfect curve in the air, and appeared in front of Lei Luo's throat in the blink of an eye. As expected of the son of Hitaki Tsukumo, this is fast enough. But I am the speed of light. Lei Luo dodged Kakashi's attack by turning to one side, and the Sky Kong Cloud Sword instantly condensed in his hand and slashed towards Kakashi, forcing Kakashi to retreat. After pulling the distance, Kakashi looked at Lei Luo solemnly, obviously he was completely serious. Kakashi hands fast hand seal, sweetened water style. Water colliding wave. Kakashi clasped his hands together, and instantly summoned water that swirled up like a tornado out of thin air, and then the water spread like a waterfall and hit Lei Luo down. Lei Luo wouldn't sit still, and flashed into the air in an instant, and Tomo Yatagasaki shot Kakashi with countless light bullets. What kind of ninjutsu is this? Kakashi was shocked, and hurriedly used the instant body technique to dodge, and his hands frantically hand seal. Doden, earth style. Earth wall. An earth wall blocked in front of Kakashi, but was instantly torn apart. Doden, earth style. Too long spear. Kakashi shouted secretly, taking advantage of the moment when the light bullet was blocked by the earth wall. A huge stone spear protruded from the ground and attacked Lei Luo in the air. Yagata mirror. Lei Luo came directly behind Kakashi with a ray of light, and put the Sky Kong Cloud Sword on Kakashi's neck. You lost, Kakashi. Lei Luo whispered. That's right, you won this time, and my chakra is going to run out. Kakashi's face was resigned, but he could only shake his head and admit defeat. Lei Luo, you are very strong, but I won't lose to you next time. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect you to lose, Kakashi. Well done, Lei Luo, Uchiha Obito shouted happily. Let's go eat ramen, I'm starving to death. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing Mission 1 of Campus Overlord and defeating all male ninjas during the same period. Get the task reward God level lottery point *1. Chapter 14 Teacher Chen. Ichiraku Ramen Restaurant. While eating ramen, Lei Luo thought about the problems in the previous day's mission. Although he has the ability of the glittering fruit, the speed is fast enough, the attack power is not small, and he even developed the medical ability, but the energy consumption is still very large, and the battle is over. And Lei Luo is just an ordinary physique after all, not as huge as the Uzumaki family's chakra volume, and far less than the chakra of the first generation of Hokage. Chakra is a combination of physical energy and spiritual energy. If you want to increase the amount of chakra, you can only start from these two aspects. Zanpakuto's shape and abilities are based on the soul of the god of death himself. The god of death gains power by having a spiritual dialogue with the Zanpakuto that Akatsuki gave him. When Lei Luo drew Higher Inmaru merged with his soul, and the soul grew a lot, so chakra also got a lot of improvement. But now Lei Luo has no lottery points in his hands, and no way to cultivate his spirit, so he can only improve through physical exercise. Is it only possible to exercise physical skills? Lei Luo thought to himself, but suddenly he felt eyes were on him. Turning his head slightly in surprise, Lei Luo asked curiously, "What are you looking at me for?" Aren't you hungry?" Obito. Kakashi. Rin. Obito glanced at the ramen that he had just eaten, and then looked at the 8 or 9 empty bowls stacked next to Lei Luo. He couldn't help but fall into a state of doubting his life. Should I treat a guest today? Demonic illusion. Quote. I haven't finished my bowl of ramen yet, but Lei Luo is already eating the 10th bowl. And the manager of the Ichiraku ramen restaurant didn't seem to be shocked, as if he was used to it. After all, Ichiraku ramen is well known in Hokage, and Lei Luo has long been a frequent visitor here, and hand-pulling has long been a no-brainer. Besides, as a ninja, he has a bigger appetite than Lei Luo, and there are a lot of people around, so it's not surprising. After everyone finished eating ramen, Obito went to settle the bill with a bitter look. After all, he had already agreed to treat him. Oh, I won't treat you again next time. Lei Luo went home after saying goodbye to the three. At night, Lei Luo was lying on the bed, his thoughts spread. Exercise. Who should I go to? The next morning, Lei Luo sat up from the bed. He had already made up his mind on how to improve his physical skills. After last night's consideration, he decided to go to Mr. Chen to try his luck, and if it didn't work, he would go to Might Guy. In the entire Hokage, there are only a handful of strong taijutsu. Everyone knows the 8 guys who almost kicked out the finale, and many people know that the Kurigaker 7 turned into Eternal Genin, Might Die, who is 3, but few people think about that. Ninja Teacher Chen is known as Konoha's strongest taijutsu. Teacher Chen, whose real name is Chen Baojun, whose unique skill is Konoha Dragon God, is the only ninja before Might Guy who became Jonin by virtue of taijutsu. His disciple was brutally killed in the Third Ninja War because of his weakness in demonic illusion and ninjutsu. Teacher Chen felt extremely self-blame, so he built a tombstone to live in seclusion. During the Fourth Ninja World War, Teacher Chen of Impure World Reincarnation defeated Might Guy, who was unable to open 8 doors. Finally, moved by the perseverance of Guy and Little Li, he broke free from the shackles of Impure World Reincarnation and his soul ascended to heaven. Now that the Third Ninja World War has not yet fully started, Teacher Chen should not be living in seclusion. Lei Luo simply took a shower and went out. After some inquiries, Lei Luo finally found Teacher Chen's residence. Knock knock knock. Squeak tilde, the door in front of him was opened, and an old man came out. Young man, what's the matter with you? Mr. Chen, hello, my name is Lei Luo, I'm here to practice physique with you, please. I'm sorry, young man, I'm already old, I've already accepted an apprentice, and I'm no longer accepting apprentices. Let's go. After saying that, Teacher Chen closed the door. Lei Luo knew it was difficult to succeed in apprenticeship, but he didn't expect that Teacher Chen would not give him a chance to speak. In the Hokage world, the relationship between teachers and teachers is always much closer than that of ordinary bosses and subordinates. Once they become masters and apprentices, it means that from now on, the interests of the two will be exactly the same. Therefore, people in this era take apprentices very seriously. Once this relationship is established, it cannot be changed. Even if a disciple is judged to be a master, his actions will still make people count as a master. And Lei Luo's own abilities are all obtained by systematic lottery, so Lei Luo doesn't need any ninjutsu. For Lei Luo, it is more important to find a master who can teach taijutsu. It is true that Lei Luo may also draw powerful physical skills such as the 8 inner gates and Konoha Dragon God, but to perform it requires a strong body and the ability to control the body, and this requires a master to guide. Practice. Moreover, the subsequent lottery is also a matter of the future. The lottery is all random, and no one knows what will be drawn. Now that the 3 wars are imminent, it is imperative to work hard to improve the current strength. Having learned the Konoha fluid technique, he can also combine it with his own glittering fruit ability to develop a light speed body technique, instead of only a light speed kick in the body technique as it is now. Although Lei Luo was rejected by Teacher Chen this time, he did not give up and decided to work hard to join Teacher Chen. Ding! Congratulations to the host for triggering the quest, The Path of Cultivation. The Road of Cultivation. the real strong people need to understand their own path of cultivation. As a leader on the path of cultivation, it is even more essential. I will go to Chen Baojun and embark on the path of cultivation. Task Reward. God Level Lottery. Point 1. The system prompt ringing in his ears strengthened Lei Luo's determination to become a teacher. From that day on, Lei Luo came to visit Teacher Chen every day, hoping to worship him as a teacher. In addition, he also went to find Might Guy and went to exercise with Might Guy every day. Guy was also very happy to see that Lei Luo was willing to exercise with him, and enthusiastically shared his green training suit with Lei Luo, but Lei Luo ruthlessly rejected him. Time passed slowly for more than a month. Lei Luo has gradually become accustomed to the life of exercising physical skills every day and then developing the fruit ability. With superhuman speed and ever-increasing physical strength, Lei Luo is at least a Jonin in terms of physical skills. Coupled with the energy of the glittering fruit, even if he encounters a cage-level master, he has the power to deal with it. On this day, Lei Luo came to visit Teacher Chen as usual. I thought it would be rejected again familiarly, but I didn't expect Teacher Chen to lead Lei Luo into the room this time. After entering the room, Lei Luo looked around curiously, but found that Teacher Chen's house was extraordinarily simple. I'm old, I don't like those fancy things. You can sit down, Teacher Chen said to Lei Luo. Why do you want to practice physical art with me? Do you understand the meaning of spiritual practice? Teacher Chen's question made Lei Luo fall into deep thought, and Lei Luo also knew that whether he could succeed in apprenticeship also depended on his answers to these two questions. Looking at the contemplative Lei Luo, Teacher Chen was not in a hurry, but slowly brewed tea, waiting for Lei Luo's answer. After a long silence, Lei Luo finally raised his head, looked directly at Teacher Chen, and gave his answer. I practice taijutsu with you because you are the strongest taijutsu ninja in Konoha. Konoha fluid jutsu is constantly perfected in your hands, and created a super strong physique like Konoha Dragon God. I believe that I can learn from you. To a lot. Quote. Cultivation is to change oneself, to turn the impossible into something that can be done, and to improve oneself. Cultivation is also to protect everything that one loves. After listening to Lei Luo's answer, a smile appeared on Teacher Chen's face. Very good, you are an honest and loving child. I hope you will not forget what you said today in the future. My old bones should also move. From tomorrow, you can follow me to practice. Yes, Master, Lei Luo replied excitedly. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the mission and the road of cultivation, and getting the reward God Level Lottery. Point 1. Chapter 15 Blade Zen and Practice. After the successful apprenticeship, Lei Luo did not change anything, and continued to complete today's exercise with Guy. But the high-pitched mental state during exercise also made Guy shout words such as, youth, blood. After finishing today's exercise, Lei Luo told Guy that he would not be able to exercise with him from tomorrow. After that, Lei Luo returned home exhausted. Lying on the bed, then called out the system. System, I want to draw a lottery. System, Detection Dao host currently has 2 God level lottery points, are they all drawn? Lei Luo, no, let's draw it first, and keep the other one for spare. Asterisk turned and appeared in Lei Luo's mind. The 6 things on asterisk are S-class item, different fire asterisk bone spirit cold fire. S-level skill, armament hockey. S-level skill, blade zen. S-class pet, magic cat Yumi. S-class equipment, guardian angel. S-class item, thunder dragon slayer magic crystal. It is indeed a god-level lottery system. Every random item makes Lei Luo look hot. Alien fire asterisk bone spirit cold fire. It is a peculiar fire that comes from the world of Dubachong, a strange flame that combines extreme cold and extreme heat. Meet in the dark. Armament hockey, from the world of One Piece. People with armament hockey can improve their personal defense and attack power, acting like invisible armor, and can evolve into attack power, and then compete with those with devil fruit ability, and can even touch the natural fruit ability entity of the person. Magic Cat Yumi, from the League of Legends world. As a magical cat from Bandle City, Yumi was the guardian spirit of a Yordle witch whose owner was Nora. When the master mysteriously disappeared, Yumi became the guardian of the Door Magic Tome, a spiritual book left by Nora. They went through the portal in the page together to find Nora. Eager to be pampered, Yumi seeks out friendly companions on her journey, providing them with protection with a shimmering shield and determination. Guardian Angel, also from the League of Legends world. Its function is very simple, but also very powerful, that is, resurrection. The Thunder Dragon Slayer magic crystal comes from the fairy tale world, and if you integrate it into your body, you can obtain the power of Thunder attribute Dragon Slayer magic. As for the Edge Zen, Lei Luo didn't know what it was. Start the lottery. Lei Luo started the lottery without thinking much. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the S-level skill, Blade Zen. It turned out to be this skill. A piece of information appeared in Lei Luo's mind, letting him master this skill immediately and know everything about this skill. Blade Zen, it turned out to be from the world of death. In order to talk to Zanpakuto, the god of death will sit cross-legged in meditation, put Zanpakuto on his lap, and concentrate his mind completely on the knife to call and communicate with the Zanpakuto entity, which is called Blade Zen. Blade Zen is not only a skill to communicate with Zanpakuto, but also a method for the god of death to practice Reiki, or spiritual power. Yes, cultivating spiritual power is just right for me. Follow the master to practice physical art, and then cultivate the spirit of blade meditation to improve the control of higher Inmaru. Grasp the spirit and the body with both hands. Grasp both hands. Both hands must be hard. Hey. After the lottery was drawn, Lei Luo fell asleep contentedly. The next morning, Lei Luo woke up. She felt refreshed, and the exhaustion of yesterday was swept away. I am going to start practicing with Master today. After quickly cleaning up, he hurried to Teacher Chen's house. After having breakfast with Mr. Chen took Lei Luo to Haoshan. You must have a strong body when you practice physique. My approach to improving physical fitness is to pursue the limit. The so-called limit is to let your body reach the limit in training, so as to break through the limit. Now look at my actions. Although Teacher Chen is not too young, he punches vigorously. Without using chakra, simply relying on the body makes people feel imposing. Do you see clearly? See it clearly. It is also the benefit of the powerful spiritual power after the fusion of higher Inmaru. Okay, today's goal, punch 100 times. Watching Teacher Chen's boxing is light and easy, but it is his turn to practice, but it feels difficult to adapt. This set of movements was created by Mr. Chen himself. After a set of movements, every part of the body can be fully exercised. 29. 30. Just after playing the 20th time, Lei Luo couldn't help falling down. Lei Luo lay on the ground without any image, soaked all over, and even the ground under his feet was soaked with sweat. Get up! Teacher Chen yelled at Lei Luo when he saw Lei Luo fell to the ground. Lei Luo bit Kiba and insisted on standing up. Teacher Chen immediately told Lei Luo some chakra application methods. This is also Teacher Chen's unique technique. Running chakra in a special way can relieve physical fatigue and repair damage to the body. Lei Luo ran the chakra, he felt a lot better, so he continued to punch. Just punch, fix, punch, fix. Finally finished today's practice in the evening. After the practice, Lei Luo dragged himself to Ichiraku Ramen. Huchi. Lei Luo actually ate a whole 31 bowls of ramen, and the strong consumption also led to the need for more food to supplement. After eating ramen, Lei Luo dragged his heavy body back home. Then he fell down on the bed and fell asleep. Konoha Whirlwind. Konoha Gust. Konoha Gang Force Cyclone. Konoha Dragon God. I saw an open space. An old man and a young man were training against each other, but it ended with the defeat of the young man. Teacher, I still lost to your Konoha Dragon God. Lei Luo scratched his head. Lei Luo, you've done a great job. You're the ninja with the fastest physical skills I've ever seen. It's only been less than half a year, and you've already surpassed the old one. Teacher Chen looked relieved. Lei Luo has been practicing with Teacher Chen for nearly half a year, and Konoha fluid art has basically mastered, but the last Konoha Dragon God still does not have all masters, but it is only a matter of time. In addition, when Lei Luo practiced body art, he was also practicing blade meditation. In the past 6 months of practice, Lei Luo's spirit and body have been greatly improved, and he has completely integrated with Higher Inmaru. Now Higher Inmaru is like part of Lei Luo's body. Just then, Yuhi suddenly appeared in front of Lei Luo. Lei Luo, we have a new mission. Chapter 16_Escort Supplies. Lei Luo, we have a new mission. Lei Luo couldn't help but smile when he heard Kurenai Yuhi's words. After nearly half a year of practice, Lei Luo feels that he has improved a lot, and he just needs to test his current strength. The task came exactly as he wanted. Lei Luo pleaded guilty to Teacher Chen and left with Kurenai Yuhi. The 4th class has assembled at the familiar 4th training ground. Yuhi, let's talk about this mission in detail. Lei Luo, as the captain, was the first to speak. Yuhi nodded and said, this time the mission is designated as an A-level mission. It is to escort supplies to the battlefield of the country of grass together with the other 2 teams. This is a very important batch of military supplies. There are a lot of kunai shuriken and tent food in it, as well as the detonating charms that ninjas need most, military food pills and the like. The other 2 teams will be led by Jonin, and the person in charge of this mission is Jonin Kato Dan. Kato Dan. Lei Luo felt familiar for a while when he heard the name, and then suddenly remembered. Kato Dan, the original lover of Tsunade in Konoha Sannin. His secret technique *spiritualization technique, can transform himself into a living soul, ignore the distance and kill the enemy's ninjutsu, can control the opponent's body and enter the spiritual world of others. The day before going to the front line, Duan told Tsunade that his wish was to become Hokage, and Tsunade gave Duan the ancestral necklace. Unexpectedly, the war was interrupted and he was seriously injured. Even Tsunade, one of Sannin, was unable to revolving heaven and eventually died. Tsunade suffers from hyperphobia because of this, and believes that only a fool would want to be a Hokage. It was not until Naruto appeared that Tsunade let go of the psychological shadow of the past. Thinking of this, Lei Luo couldn't help but feel tight. Could it be that Kato Dan died in this mission? No, it shouldn't be so coincidental. But you can't take it lightly. Lei Luo shook his head, got rid of his chaotic thoughts, and said, since you know the details of the mission now, let's go back and prepare. We will gather according to the mission requirements tomorrow. Yuhi, Yugao, yes. Early the next morning, the 4th team rushed to the material storage area, and when they arrived at the material office, there was already a team waiting there. Hello, are you the person in charge of this mission? Lei Luo walked over and asked Jonin, the leader of the team. Yes, I will lead the team for this mission. Besides you, there is another team. It should be there in a while. Jonin, who was leaning on the supply truck, raised his body when he heard the words, and replied kindly. Introduce myself first. My name is Kato Dan, and I am good at esoteric spiritualization. My name is Lei Luo, and I am currently the captain of the 4th squad. I am good at light escape and physical art. My name is Kurenai Yuhi, and I'm good at demonic illusion. My name is Azuki Yugao, and I am good at swordsmanship. Kato Dan glanced at Lei Luo in surprise. Is it light escape? The new bloodline boundary. Lei Luo's light escape in Konoha. Only high-level people and a few people familiar with Lei Luo know that Kato Dan is only a civilian ninja who often performs tasks outside, so it is not very clear. Although curious, Kato Dan did not ask, it is not a good habit to inquire about other people's privacy. Kato Dan then introduced the members of his team. One of them turned out to be a branch of the Hyuga family, called Hyuga Wushin. The name is very domineering. In the Duan squad, he is mainly responsible for sensing ninjas and protecting Duan's body when he uses the spiritualization technique. And the rest are just two ordinary civilian ninjas. A few people were chatting politely, and soon another team came. The leader of this team, Jonin, is a Sarutobi family who is good at Kaiden fire style, named Sarutobi Konan, and his team members are just ordinary civilian ninjas. Hearing the name Sarutobi Konan, Lei Luo raised the danger of this mission in his heart. The name Konan is often associated with the god of death and cannot be ignored. Thinking about that elementary school student, Lei Luo was also amazed. By introducing each other, everyone got to know each other a bit. If everyone has no problems, let's go. Jonin Kato Dan, the leader of the team, said loudly. Yes. Konoha's base in the Land of Grass is located at the border between the Land of Fire and the Land of Grass. It is not very far from Konoha village. If an ordinary ninja walks on foot, it only takes 3 days to reach it. However, Lei Luo's team moved very slowly because of the escort of supplies, and it was estimated that it would take a week to reach the border. Hyuga Wushin of Kato Dan's team, as the only sensory ninja this time, naturally shoulders the heavy responsibility of reconnaissance. Every time everyone walked for a while, Hyuga Wushin would open Byakugan to observe. Inadvertently, 6 days passed by in a hurry, and everyone in Lei Luo was finally about to reach the border. This week has been a great ordeal for Lei Luo. In the past few missions out of the village, the three of Lei Luo were not burdened with materials, and they could run much faster than a horse-drawn carriage. But this time, he had to follow the horse-drawn troop slowly and leisurely. Lei Luo felt uncomfortable as he moved forward. However, it is fortunate that there are two little loli, Yuhi and Yugao, to accompany them, which is a little consolation on the boring journey. As everyone knows, Lei Luo, Yuhi, Yugao's two little loli's fights have aroused the jealousy of many people. When they reached the bottom of a hillside, the team slowly stopped. The team temporarily stopped to rest. Following Kato Dan's order, the team immediately stopped and temporarily camped on the spot to rest. Kato Dan sent Lei Luo and a few people out to hunt some prey, and worshipped Matsuri for the 5 internal organs temple. After eating, Kato Dan gathered everyone and said, "We are almost reaching the border now, and we may encounter enemies that infiltrate at any time. In order to ensure the safety of materials, we must be vigilant and need to be rearranged. Formation. Wu Tian, you continue to walk the front and increase the frequency of detection. I will send 2 Chunin to guard you." Yes. Hyuga widened Byakugan wide and nodded vigorously. Sarutobi Konan, you and I lead the squad to guard the wings. Yes. Sarutobi Konan replied. Next, Kato Dan set his sights on Lei Luo. Lei Luo, you lead the 4th squad to guard the tail and prevent the enemy from attacking. No problem. Leave it to us. Lei Luo naturally wouldn't lose the chain. He has the light to escape, and it is easy to support any direction. Very good. Kato Dan nodded. Do you have any questions? No. Everyone, including Lei Luo, nodded and had no objection to the arrangement. Since there is no problem, then continue to rest in place for half an hour, and then we will go on the road. Half an hour passed quickly. Kato Dan waved his hand, go, and the team set off again. Chapter 17 Bakuden, Explosion Style, Ninja Hunt. The Fate of Breaking. After walking for half a day, an accident came unexpectedly. Boom! A sudden explosion sounded. It turned out that when Chunin of the Sarutobi Konan team landed on a tree trunk, a concealed detonator exploded. Chunin, who triggered the trap, immediately received the lunch and died. Be careful, Hyuga's eyes widened with blue veins, and he had already opened Byakugan. In Hyuga's heavenless Byakugan, there are a lot of detonating charms scattered in the forest in front of you, Explosive charms. There are at least 30 of them. Damn it. It's the people from Iwagakure village who used Doden, Earth style, to hide the chakra aura of the detonator. When Kato Dan heard Wushin's description, he immediately turned the team back. The remaining detonating talismans moved one after another, roaring incessantly. The series of explosions disturbed the silence of the mountains and forests, and the smoke and dust scattered in all directions. A row of big trees fell down with a crunch, causing a larger dust mist and engulfing a small half of the mountain forest. Fortunately, the team retreated in time. No more casualties were caused, but a lot of food and tents were also lost. And military supplies such as kunai, shuriken, military food pills, and detonating talismans were all hidden in the sealed scroll, and there was no loss. The smoke cleared away, and there were many ninjas on the other side of the forest. At a cursory glance, there were about 40 or 50 people. The forehead on the ninja's head reveals their identity as Iwagakure. Ha ha ha, Iwagakure, the leader, laughed wildly as he looked at the supply truck. After waiting for so long, it's finally yours, Konoha's supplies, killing you, these are all our Iwagakure villages. Is there no one in Konoha? Send a few of you junk to deliver the supplies. Lei Luo looked at the leading ninja with blue eyes and spiky head, a bit familiar. He was Iwagakure's Bakuden explosion-style hunter. Kabuto was affiliated with the Iwagakure Demolition Force, and also made some reputation on the battlefield. After his death, he was used by Kabuto Impure World Reincarnation in the Fourth Ninja World War, together with Sunagakure Shikuden, Scorch-style Pakura. Bakuden explosion style is a Kekkei Genkei formed by the combination of earth and thunder chakra. It can concentrate chakra in the fist or palm, and once it hits something, it will explode violently. In the face of a surprise attack from Iwagakure, the situation is in a precarious situation. But the current situation was too much for Lei Luo to think about, and Iwagakure had already attacked. Originally, Konoha's side had no advantage in numbers, and the enemy was Iwagakure's elite demolition force. The moment the two sides contacted, Konoha was at a disadvantage, and the situation fell into chaos. The screams, explosions, and screams were endless. Seeing this, Kato Dan used the magic of spiritual transformation to control Iwagakure to kill each other, while Hyuga Wushin also retreated to Duan's side to protect Duan's body. Watching Iwagakure continue to kill each other and the casualties continue to expand, Kato eventually finds Kato Dan. Go to hell. Sho rushed straight over, and then slammed into Xuan with a punch. Hyuga hurriedly blocked in front of Duan, and used Gentle Fist to block Hunter. He heard a bang, and Hyuga Wushin's arms were directly smashed by the Hunter. It is the bloodstain limit of Bakuden explosion style of hunting. It's a Bakuden explosion style hunter from Iwagakure village. Don't melee, use ranged ninjutsu. Duan in midair roared, but it was too late. Sho then raised his hand to hit Kato Dan. Kato Dan's soul found the crisis and immediately returned to his body. He manipulated his body to dodge, but he was still in a hurry to dodge. Duan is good at forbidden technique and can control the soul to attack and control. But once you are hunted by a ninja with super strong melee combat, you will surely die. Hunt pressed hard and continued to attack Kato Dan. But he was stopped by a knife that suddenly appeared in front of him. The person here is Lei Luo. Laser light. A dazzling golden light blazed out at a very fast speed, but as the elite Jonin of Iwagakure village, Hunter was extremely experienced. At the critical moment, the figure subconsciously flashed to the left. PFF'd. The blood flew, and the left arm of Hunter was directly penetrated by the laser light of Lei Luo, and even a ninja from Iwagakure village behind him was injured. Damn, what kind of ninjutsu is this? Or, Kekkei Genkei? Hunter scolded secretly, but also knew the gap in strength between the two sides. With one foot on the ground, he directly picked up a corpse under him, grabbed it with one hand, and threw it violently towards Lei Luo. Bakuden explosion style. Human flesh *******. Lei Luo froze in his heart, and a ray of light under him disappeared instantly. As Lei Luo, who plays through Akatsuki's full play, he knows Bakudan's explosion-style abilities very well. In the original plot, 3 people owned Bakudan explosion-style Kekkei Genkei. They are the shinobi world demigod Hanzo, Akatsuki Deidara, and the hunter who died very early. Since Deidara can use clay as A***, then the hunter who is also the owner of Bakudan explosion-style Kekkei Genkei is very likely to do the same trick. Sure enough, after the corpse hit the ground, Kato Dan, who was seriously injured and unconscious, exploded again. Kato Dan, who was seriously injured, was blown away half of his body after this attack, and fell to the ground ruthlessly. Damn! Lei Luo cursed inwardly. He had already tried his best to kill the enemy, but he still couldn't stop Kato Dan's death. Is this really his destiny? 8 feet Joan Tomo. In midair, Lei Luo appeared, grabbed his hands in the air, and immediately dozens of bright golden rays of light flashed, and shot towards the ninjas of Iwagakure village on the ground. Boom! Boom boom boom! In an instant, the group of Iwagakure village ninjas were enveloped in a large number of flames and shock waves. But even with Lei Luo's ultimate move, Konoha's ninjas suffered heavy casualties. Sarutobi Konan's subordinates were killed, and the only members of Kato Dan's team were the severely wounded Suan and Hyuga, who had been seriously injured in a coma. Although Yuhi and Yugao were only slightly injured under the protection of Lei Luo, they were both exhausted and unable to fight again. Sho pushed aside the 2 corpses of his companions who were standing in front of him, looked at the corpses of Iwagakure all over the ground, and opened his eyes to Yuhi. Damn it! I must kill you all. Holding a corpse in one hand, Bakudan explosion-style Kekkei Genkei's special chakra surged, turning the 2 corpses into human flesh again, and charged fiercely in the direction of Lei Luo. After such a long battle, Lei Luo also consumed a lot. Fortunately, I practiced physical art with Teacher Chen, and I have persisted until now, but I don't have much physical strength. Guangdong is too exhausting, and it's too close to the border. Iwagakure's people will rush over. It's really not good. I can only use that thing. Lei Luo sighed secretly in his heart, reached out and grabbed it in the air, and a large knife with a strange shape suddenly appeared in his hand. Sit on the frosty sky. Hyarinmaru. I saw that the end of the Hyarinmaru knife in Lei Luo's hand gave birth to an iron chain. At the end of the chain, there was a blade in the shape of a meniscus, which released a dense icy aura. Flock of birds ice Jinchuriki column. Lei Luo swung forward with the knife, and a series of ice bombs hit Sho, but Sho threw his fists one by one. Seeing this, Lei Luo didn't take it seriously, and then raised his hand to move, ice wheel spinning tail, and a cold white light slashed out of Hyarinmaru, freezing everything he passed. Doden, Earth-style Earth-shore return. Hunter raised his hand seal, and the ground in front of him bulged upwards quickly, blocking him, but it was directly cut open, and there was frost in the gap. Chapter 18_Furious Onoki, Special Summoned Creature. What a mighty power! Although the dirt wall in front of him didn't provide much protection for Hunter, it also took him some time, allowing him to escape the freezing slash and continue to charge towards Lei Luo. Seeing this, Lei Luo used the bridge ice array, a thick ice wall instantly erected in front of Lei Luo, reflecting the light under the sunlight. But under Sho's fist, the ice wall was shattered directly like a fragile piece of paper. At this moment, Lei Luo has used his last strength to use Six-Clothes Ice Formation. Six-Clothed Ice Formation. Set up 6 ice formations on the ground to freeze everything in it. And Sho, who just rushed in front of Lei Luo, just happened to crash into the ice formation, and he had no chance of dodging, no way to avoid it, and was directly frozen into ice. Looking at the ferocious hunters in the ice Jinchuriki column, Lei Luo stretched out a little, and a golden light shot out, hitting the ice Jinchuriki column steadily. In an instant, the ice Jinchuriki column shattered into countless ice cubes, and those who had died could no longer die. Lei Luo gasped deeply. Hunting's Bakuden explosion style was very difficult to deal with. Coupled with decades of battlefield experience, Lei Luo did his best to solve him. A pity, Kato Dan. Kato Dan, who had been knocked off half of his body, had begun to lose his breath of life gradually, and was vomiting blood weakly. Even though Lei Luo used light escape, light therapy, to treat Kato Dan, it was a drop in the bucket and it was difficult to save. When Kato Dan just encountered Iwagakure, news came to the Konoha frontline base. And now the personnel sent from the front line of Konoha have finally arrived. The people sent to clean up the corpses on the ground, pick up the three of Lei Luo and Sarutobi Konan, and rushed to the base with the supplies. Return to the Konoha forward base. Lei Luo and others handed over the supplies, they were arranged for treatment and rest. Konoha forward base remains Orochimaru. Kato Dan is Tsunade's boyfriend in Sannin, and he is also a Jonin with special esoteric magic, so he and Orochimaru naturally know each other. After hearing the news of Duan's death, Orochimaru only regretted it, lamented the fragility of life, and then sent news to Tsunade. What intrigued him even more was that the surviving team from this mission turned out to be the fourth squad he led before, and there were traces of Hyoten ice style left at the battle scene. Could it be Lei Luo-kun? Orochimaru licked the corner of his mouth, his eyes strange. Land of the Earth, Tsuchikage Building. A shadow appeared in Tsuchikage's office, half kneeling. It was the Anbu ninja of Iwagakure. Lord Tsuchikage, Captain Hunter's mission failed this time. Looking up from the document in front of him, the third generation of Tsuchikage Onoki looked gloomy. Trash. Where's Hunter? Let him roll over for me. Looking at the gloomy Onoki, Iwagakure Anbu lowered his head and said, Lord Tsuchikage, Captain Hunter has died. What? Onoki was instantly furious. Hunter has the bloodline of Bakuden explosion style. Generally, even a Jonin of the same level is not his opponent. He didn't expect to die in a simple mission to destroy Konoha's supplies. Middle. Who killed the Hunter? According to the information, it is a ninja with a special bloodstain boundary in Konoha. Special bloodline limit. What bloodstain limit? According to the information, this ninja can use light-type ninjutsu, which has never been seen before. Check it out for me. The special line of blood, is it Konoha's genius again? Only those who survive are geniuses, and those who die are nothing. Use Konoha's informant to find out the information about this ninja, and I will make him pay. Lei Luo finally felt better. After waking up, he got up and sat up, his legs crossed his knees, he entered the state of blade meditation, and adjusted his spirit. On the battlefield, always maintain a good state, in order to be able to survive with a greater chance. This mission made Lei Luo feel that his strength still lacks a lot. So I decided to use the remaining lottery point to enhance my strength. Lei Luo, system, I remember that I still have a god-level lottery point, right? Ding dong, it is detected that the host currently has the remaining god-level lottery points 1. Okay, I want to draw a lottery. Soon, the 6 prize reels appeared in Lei Luo's mind again. S-level skill, observation hockey. S-class items, devil fruit * shock fruit. S-class pet, magic cat Yumi. S-class pet, river king Tam. S-class item, poison dragon slayer magic crystal. S-class item, Tensegan. The prizes are still so enticing. Observation hockey is an ability from the world of One Piece, one of the 3 color domineering. The 5 senses that can make people sharpen, can detect the breath and emotional changes of surrounding creatures, and can also be used to foresee and avoid danger. When observation hockey cultivates to ultimate, it can even predict the future. Devil fruit * Junjun fruit, also from the world of One Piece. It is a type of devil fruit superhuman, known as the ability to destroy the world, also known as the strongest superhuman devil fruit. Vibration can be caused at will, but the degree of vibration can be adjusted. The vibration place not only includes the ground and space, but also makes part of the space full of powerful vibration. Magic Cat Yumi, this last lottery appeared, from the world of League of Legends. River King Tam, also from the League of Legends world. Tam traveled the various waterways of Valoran, feeding his insatiable appetite with the misery of the unsuspecting. This bizarrely charismatic gourmet indulges in every moment of the suffering of his prey. A deal with him may take you anywhere you want to go, but your journey will almost certainly end in the abyss of despair. Poison Dragon Slayer Magic Crystal, from Fairy Tale World, integrate it into the body to obtain the power of Poison Attribute Dragon Slayer Magic. As for Tensegan, it is a native product of the Hokage world. It is a pupil technique with the power to destroy and create the world. It needs to combine the blood of the Otsutsuki clan and the Byakugan of the Hyuga clan to open it. It is the final form of Byakugan. Then start the lottery. Lei Luo gave an order, and the turntable began to spin. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining an S-class pet, River King Tam. After the lottery draw, Lei Luo immediately felt that his soul was somehow connected with something. It should be Tam. And the specific situation about this pet also appeared in his mind. When Tom appears, it will maintain a data mode like in the League of Legends game. As long as the health bar is not 0, Tom will not die, nor will there be any physical injuries. When the health bar is 0, Tom will disappear, and he can only be summoned again after 24 hours. Usually when he's not summoning Tom, Tom will still be its River King in Valoran. And Tam's data panel appeared in Lei Luo's mind. King of the River, Tam Kench. Level, Max. HP, 1 million. Skills, Big Tongue Lashing Max, Feasting on Max, Thick Skin Max, Abyss Diving Max. Tam, all skills are max, so strong. Thinking about meeting a real Tam, I'm still a little excited. I was the Phantom Licking King in the top lane back then. Tam will definitely be a very reliable partner. Then how to summon it reasonably? Looks like I need to learn some spiritism. Lei Luo, are you awake? Kurenai Yuhi's shouts came from outside the tent, calling Lei Luo's consciousness out of his mind. Well, Yuhi, come in. Lei Luo replied casually and let Kurenai Yuhi come in. Kurenai Yuhi opened the tent curtain and walked in, followed by Azuki Yugao. Lei Luo, Teacher Orochimaru asked us to gather, let's go over quickly. What will Orochimaru do to us? It can't be a simple reminiscence, so be careful. Lei Luo thought in his heart but did not show anything, but agreed. Well, okay, let's go. Lei Luo got up and followed Kurenai Yuhi and Azuki Yugao out of the tent and walked towards the camp. Chapter 19 Goodbye Orochimaru, the summoning of 3 generations. Lei Luo entered the camp. Orochimaru was looking at the sand table in the camp. Long time no see, my lovely subordinates. Orochimaru looked at the 3 with a look of interest on his face. You guys did a great job. For this mission, I would like to know the specifics with you. Orochimaru's eyes narrowed involuntarily, looking at Lei Luo. Cough cough. Lei Luo cleared his throat and said. Sir Orochimaru, we were attacked by Iwagakure in this mission, and the ninja led by Iwagakure was a Jonin with a Bakudan, explosion-style bloodline. Although we finally wiped out the enemy and completed the mission, we also lost terrible. Our leader Jonin Kato Dan and the team he led were wiped out, and Sarutobi Konan Jonin's team was left alone. Our 4th shift was also injured, but luckily no one died. Orochimaru nodded and asked. What about Hyoten, ice style? After listening to Orochimaru's words, Lei Luo already had an answer in mind. The power of that Hyoten, ice style comes from this knife in my hand. Lei Luo said holding Hirenmaru. This knife is a trophy that I got when I encountered the ninjas of the Kurigakure Minazuki clan during a mission. I thought it was just a good ninja knife, but I didn't expect this knife to have spirituality. By chance, it was compatible with my soul and I discovered that this knife has the power of Hyoten, ice style. Oh, Orochimaru listened with interest to Lei Luo's words. Will Lei Luo-kun let me study this knife? I'm sorry, Lord Orochimaru, Hirinmaru is already compatible with my soul, I can't give it to you to study. Lei Luo said rightly. Lei Luo-kun, don't think about it anymore. I can exchange anything you want, Orochimaru said faintly. Lei Luo rejected Orochimaru again. Well, in that case, Lei Luo-kun, I want to ask you one last question, are you willing to be my disciple? Orochimaru said with a look of regret. After listening to the Orochimaru question, Lei Luo thought to himself. Although Orochimaru knows a lot of ninjutsu and is very strong in ninjutsu research, he is still too dangerous. And he has a god-level lottery system, and the prizes are not weaker than Orochimaru's research. To put it 10,000 steps back, Orochimaru really wants to do it himself. With glittering fruits, if you can't beat it, you can always run away. On the whole, Orochimaru, who has only mastered a few half-baked forbidden techniques, is really not worthy of being his master. If Tsunade, the big cow, accepted him as a disciple, he would definitely agree. So Lei Luo scratched his head, Lord Orochimaru, I already have a master. Oh, that's fine, then forget it. Orochimaru naturally wouldn't be shy, but his eyes turned cold again. Now that you've recovered, I'll give you a new task. You, along with another team, escort the seriously wounded and return the bones of the dead to the village. Yes, the three of Lei Luo responded. The Land of Fire, outside the Konoha ninja village. Because of the need to escort the wounded, the movement is slow, and you have to be vigilant along the way to prevent the enemy from attacking. After half a month, Lei Luo and his party finally came to the gate of Konoha. When the two Chunin guards saw the group, they hurried out to inquire about the situation. Lei Luo handed the proof of leaving the village to the gatekeeper ninja. After checking it, he entered the village. First, the wounded were sent to Konoha Hospital, and then they went to the mission center to submit the mission report, and hand in the scroll that sealed the bodies of the dead. Everyone dispersed and went home to rest. Lei Luo was walking on the street, watching the busy shops on both sides. It's still Konoha, it's going to be hard to cross into the backcountry like Sunagakur village. Lei Luo couldn't help sighing in his heart. Barring any conspiracy and darkness, the prosperous village of Konoha is the most suitable place to live in Hokage. Lei Luo had just returned home and was about to do some cleaning. At this moment, a black shadow flashed and appeared in Lei Luo's window. The man was dressed in black with a fox mask on his head. When Lei Luo saw this, a name flashed in his heart, Anbu. Lei Luo, right, Mr. Hokage summoned. I hope you will go to the Hokage building as soon as possible. Anbu's voice was low, and after he finished speaking, he immediately left without the slightest sloppiness. Hatilda is the third generation of purpose summoned. What could be the reason? Konoha Hokage building. Lei Luo came to Hokage's office and knocked on the door. Come in. There was an old but breathy voice inside, and he pushed open the door and walked in. In the office, an old man in a royal robe was sitting on the middle chair with a pipe in his mouth. Several chairs and a wooden table in the room constituted a simple office space. And a woman standing next to the old man caught Lei Luo's attention. She was in her 20s, with blonde hair, brown eyes, and a slender nose, but Tong Yuhi's eyes were obviously from crying just now. She looked stubborn and strong. Tsunade, you go down first, don't be too sad, the destination of the ninja is to die on the battlefield, and he sacrificed his life for Konoha. He is a hero of Konoha. Sarutobi Hiruzen said with a cigarette. Is that what you brought back? Unexpectedly, Tsunade did not leave, but walked in front of Lei Luo, Yuhi said with eyes. Ah, yes, Lord Tsunade. Lei Luo hesitated for a while, but said anyway. Thank you, Tsunade said sadly, I heard you know a healing ninjutsu similar to sage art. Yes. Lei Luo nodded. This is the ability I developed by relying on Kekkei Genkei, but the healing ability is limited and I can't save Senior Kato Dan. Broken. Tsunade's eyes darkened again after hearing that, but he still turned around and left, leaving only Lei Luo in a daze. Senju Tsunade, the granddaughter of the original Hokage Senju Hashirama and his wife Uzumaki Mito, is also the big fat sheep in the legendary Sannin, who likes to gamble. The most important person is his lover Kato Dan and his younger brother Senju Nawaki, who are good at physique and medical treatment. Ninjutsu has the magical power of a fatal blow. In the original book, after the death of Duan and Nawaki, she suffered from hyperphobia, and then left Konoha, wandering around with Duan's niece Shizune, and also taught Shizune medical ninjutsu. After the death of the third generation, at the request of Jiraiya, he returned to the village and became the fifth generation of Hokage. At this time, the third generation of Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen put the document in his hand aside and looked at Lei Luo with a kind expression. You are Lei Luo. Yes, Lord Hokage, Lei Luo replied. At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen could not see the imposing manner of being a Hokage at all, but looked more like an ordinary kind old man. Don't be nervous, Orochimaru is very optimistic about you. It's because he likes me that I'm nervous. I don't know when he will use it as an experimental material. Lei Luo thought to himself, but his expression didn't change. He replied respectfully, yes. Lei Luo, I heard from Orochimaru that you have a kind of bloodstain boundary called Light Escape, which is very fast and powerful. Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled gently, looked at Lei Luo and said, I also want to see the old man, maybe I can give it to you. What do you think of your suggestions on the development of the blood following the boundary? Lei Luo's mind moved, thinking that the third generation of Sarutobi Hiruzen is known as ninjutsu professor, and he should have a lot of experience in the development of abilities. If he gets some guidance from the third generation, maybe there will be more inspiration, and then Lei Luo nodded and agreed. Down. Is it here? Lei Luo asked, glancing around the office. Haha. The third generation put down his pipe and laughed. It's really inconvenient here, let's go to the practice ground. Chapter 20-3 Generations Invitation. On the way, all the villagers who saw the three-generation group bowed respectfully, and Sarutobi Hiruzen responded with a smile. His face was full of relief, and he could see the prestige of Sarutobi Hiruzen in Konoha. Sarutobi Hiruzen seemed to have a feeling, suddenly turned his head and asked, Lei Luo, I know you are an orphan. It must be difficult to live alone since you were a child, right? Following behind the third generation, Lei Luo shook his head when he heard this. The village has given me a lot of care. If it weren't for the village, I would have died long ago. The people in the village are warm and there are people I love. I like it here very much. After listening to Lei Luo's words, the third generation said with some relief, It's good to like it here, it's good to like it here tilde. Anbu beside him is like a puppet, he just follows closely along the way, but doesn't say a word. Before they knew it, the three of them had already arrived at the third Konoha training ground and walked to an open space. Sarutobi Hiruzen stopped and said with a smile, Just here, I hope I won't disappoint this old man, Lei Luo. Doden, Earth Style. Earth City Wall, 3 generations of direct hand seal summoned a thick stone wall. Unleash a few spells on it, try the power. Lei Luo nodded, and then, when he raised his hand, a laser beam shot out. Kai, a deep hole appeared in the stone wall. Countless dazzling light bullets appeared and slammed into the stone wall. The stone walls were battered and crumbling. After all, he didn't hold on, and the stone wall collapsed, stirring up a lot of dust. Okay, stop it. Sarutobi Hiruzen was slightly surprised, it's all Muji ninjutsu. Well, that's right, I don't need a hand seal to activate ninjutsu. Lei Luo nodded. Amazing power, the light bullets are very small, but the number is extremely large, and they have both high temperature and penetrating properties. Sarutobi Hiruzen Luo's eyes are full of admiration, a strong bloodstained boundary, Luo. Okay, Luo, let's go back. Taking another puff of his pipe, Sarutobi Hiruzen walked towards the village. Yes, Luo understood the intention of Sarutobi Hiruzen's actions after a moment's thought, and replied calmly. He understood that the purpose of the 3 generations of summoning himself this time was just to see the boundaries of his blood and his attitude towards Konoha. In short, 3 generations just need to understand that Luo is a bloodstained genius who loves Konoha. Go back to the Hokage office. Luo, the old man has an idea, would you like to hear it? Sarutobi Hiruzen sat behind the desk with a kind expression on his face. Hearing this, Luo's eyebrows jumped involuntarily, and he squeezed out a smile. You said. Sarutobi Hiruzen, I want you to join Anbu, what do you think? Anbu, as the name suggests, the full name of the Assassination Tactical Special Unit, was created by the 2nd generation Hokage, mainly to protect the shadow and prevent foreign enemies from invading the ninja village. Join Anbu, Luo thought to himself. Although the task of joining Anbu will be more difficult, it can also get better experience. Moreover, joining Anbu will also avoid the exposure of new abilities in the future. Not only the props for future training it can be provided for free, and you can browse all the ninjutsu of B rank or below at will, and you can also get in touch with some more secret things. Quote. However, Sarutobi Hiruzen is not as old and good as he is now. The decline of the major families such as Senju and Uchiha in the original book has nothing to do with him. After all, he used to be a man called Shinobu. In general, it is more appropriate to join Anbu. As long as you are strong enough, you are not afraid of any conspiracy, but you have to be careful. Thinking of this, Luo raised his head and said to the 3 generations, Master Hokage, I am willing to join Anbu, but what about Yuhi and Yugao? Sarutobi Hiruzen was all smiles, and Luo's answer was what he expected. Don't worry, I will arrange your 2 little girlfriends. I will arrange them in a team led by the very reliable Jonin. Luo nodded. If that's the case, then I'll join Anbu, thank you Lord Hokage. Black Crow, Sarutobi Hiruzen's voice just fell, and an Anbu wearing a crow mask appeared instantly. Take him to Anbu to register and get some things, and he will be a member of your team from now on. Yes, Hokage-sama. Luo and the man in the crow mask left the Hokage building without saying a word on the way. Soon, they came to a hidden place. This is the entrance, write down the spell, otherwise don't blame others for being killed. Black Crow said coldly to Luo. After he finished speaking, he started to hand seal. The speed was not very fast, probably because he was afraid that Luo could not see clearly. After entering Anbu, he took Luo to the registration office. Rookie registration, Black Crow said to the ninja in the registration window. Name, Luo. Codename, Black Shark. Choose a mask, the registration ninja said, pointing to the row of masks hanging on the wall. The masks on the walls are all kinds, but they're all animal-like. Luo looked around and selected a shark face mask, which could be considered to match the code name. Okay, take your clothes and mask, you can leave. The registration ninja said to Luo. Anbu's rules, and any questions you need to know, just go back and ask your captain. Let's go, Black Crow said to Luo. Put on the mask first. He watched Luo put on the mask before he said solemnly, when Anbu is on a mission, he cannot reveal his real name or take off his mask. This is an iron rule handed down from the 2nd generation of Hokage. Hide your identity. It seems that in the future, when performing tasks, try to use less light escape ninjutsu, and only use swordsmanship and taijutsu. Hearing Anbu ninja say this, Luo also thought to himself. Then brought Luo to the team room. Yo, the captain is back, is this a new addition to the team? A ninja wearing a cat face mask looked at Ling Vulture who came in and said to Luo. Yes, this is the Black Shark, and will be a member of our team in the future. Then the Black Crow turned to Lei Luo and said, "In Anbu, everyone is called by the code name, this guy is the Night Cat." Lei Luo nodded when he heard the words. Black Crow then said, "There is another member of our team, his name is Hummingbird. He has a task now, and I will introduce it to you later. As for Anbu's rule, the most important thing is that mission comes first. Whenever the task is completed, it is our main purpose. As for other things, I will introduce it to you slowly later. I heard you just came back from outside the village. I'll give you a day off tomorrow, and you'll come back to Anbu for the official report the day after tomorrow. If there is no problem, you can go back first." "Yes."